The story begins with us being introduced to the main character. His name is Sora, and he arrived in this world from Japan. He says it's getting dark while cooking food over a bonfire. He is surprised, seeing many glowing orbs floating next to him. They emerge directly from flowers. Sora tells Seal that he doesn't care about being a hero. He says he just wants to go as far as his strength allows and explore this wonderful world. We are shown a tavern where Sora takes a huge box on his back, which surprises people. Two adventurers even bet money, saying he will fall. But he keeps walking, surprising everyone. And the guys can't understand how he can walk so calmly with such weight. And Sora asks Seal if he will go with him this time. He explains that he was summoned as a hero candidate, but now he is just a courier and will try to complete the delivery, explaining that there are no cars, technology, or science here. And the reason why he, an ordinary Japanese person, can survive in this world is the walking skill that was granted to him when he arrived here. Sora saw a kebab vendor and asked for 2 skewers, and the vendor, apparently knowing the guy, asked if he was still working as a courier. And Sora got 2 kebabs for the price of 1. And Seal wanted to steal his food. And in the end, Sora stained his clothes. Sora uses purification magic. And 2 girls call Sora by name and ask where he will go today. And a girl asks why Sora was staring at the castle, to which he replies that it's fine, and says that this castle reminds him of the day he was summoned to this world. A month ago, we are shown the king who is guarded by elite royal guards. And he thanks all the people who came from another world at his call. There were only 7 heroes in total. He says that he doesn't understand where he is, but is sure he was on a train for his high school entrance ceremony, and remembers it was only 5 seconds ago when a sudden flash of light brought him here. The reigning king announces that this is the kingdom of Alicia and he has summoned brave people. And he wants them to defeat the recently resurrected demon king. Sora was surprised by the king's words, and the king said that their surprise was a perfectly normal reaction. The king says that everyone must touch the orb so that they can see their strength and skill stats, and they started with the first guy named Shun, who got the profession of Sword King. Shun was surprised because the title of Sword King is cool, and Sora behind him says that the Sword King skill is just like in an RPG. The king says that Shun's status is impressive. The king explains that the brave heroes have high status and many skills, and wants Sora and the others to use this against the Demon King, and says that all of them are special and have been chosen. They are destined to become heroes. Sora can't believe he's the chosen one, and 2 girls wait their turn for a status check. And all 6 heroes except Sora have already received their skills. Mage King, Saint, Paladin, Master Swordsman, and even Spirit Mage. The guys from another world are pleasantly surprised by their statuses and destinies. Sora says that they are all so cool. And the king says that the summoned ones are good and explains to them that they just need to say open status to view their skills. The king says that it's time for the last one and points to Sora, who, as he touches the orb, wonders what skill he will get, very impatiently. And then he gets the profession of unemployed and only the walking skill, as well as other characteristics at the level of an ordinary country resident. Everyone was shocked by his profession and skill. He says he has no level and is unemployed, and his status is F******ng trash. Sora says that the walking skill sounds convenient, but it's not something you can take on the Demon King with. The king whispers with his people, and then he says that there are only 6 heroes, and that they will lead them to a private banquet, and the heroes need to proceed, and adds that they need to defeat the Demon King and take his magic stone to return to their home world, and says that first there's a feast, but only for the heroes. Sora remains silent, not saying a word. One of the king's guards approaches him and tells him to come here. Sora doesn't understand what's about to happen. He opens the door for him and Sora walks straight ahead. And the next scene shows us a horse-drawn carriage, from which Sora is thrown onto the street. He falls, and sees before him the gates to the royal castle, which have closed. He is bewildered that he was actually summoned to this world and simply kicked out to live on the streets. And he complains that he wasn't even given proper money. 2 silver and 10 copper coins, and he doesn't know what to do. And then he first looks at the bustling street of people, as he had appeared directly in the king's castle. And after that, he was completely captivated by this world, seeing its beauty. He says that the houses are made of brick and stone, and people's clothes are strange, just like from a game. Residents began to stare at him, as he was kneeling in the center of the city. He runs away, apologizing to them. And it was freezing outside, and he was thrown out in such clothes. He says that now he is absolutely alone and wonders what to do next. Sora says that even if his skills are bad, it doesn't mean he himself is bad, and despises the king. He remembered the king's words about how to open the status. Sora is surprised that the status actually appeared and says his stats could have been a little higher, and then he is surprised. He says that the experience counter is almost full and doesn't understand where he got experience, as he has 4 experience points left until a new level. And then Sora realizes that each step is 1 experience point, which means the number of steps from the castle to the current location was converted into experience. He is curious what will happen when he accumulates 1,000 for new experience, and notices that the street consists of food stalls. His stomach growls, he wants to eat, and he realizes he wrongly skipped his breakfast while still in Japan, but his gaze sharply changes. A man with a huge knife looks at him, and Sora is scared, not understanding what he wants, assuming it's his ally. Sora says he doesn't know what he's guilty of, but asks for forgiveness, calling him uncle. And the man raises his hand, which makes him terrified. And Sora sees a kebab skewer in front of him, not understanding what's happening. The man tells Sora to take the skewer, and doesn't ask for money, saying it's on him. Sora is surprised that such a stern-looking man turned out to be kind, and immediately says he has money. He gives him coins and is not sure if it's enough, as he doesn't know the prices in this world. And the man, calling him bro, looks at Sora with a scary face, and the main character apologizes and says that if it's not enough, he'll work it off. And the man, in turn, says that this is too much money and in another city he would have been robbed. The man explains that 100 common coins are equal to 1 copper, 100 copper to 1 silver, 100 silver to 1 gold, and 1,000 gold to 1 platinum, and that his skewer costs 1 copper and 8 common coins, and says that he certainly has enough, and Sora thanks him, and the man tells him to be careful. And then Sora suddenly stops. He says that his level has increased and he gains 1 skill each time he levels up, and he doesn't understand if he's the only one seeing the status or if others do too. He sees skills that he can learn by spending a skill point, but the man calls him, not understanding what Sora is doing. He needs something simple and spends his point on the appraisal skill, and just like in a game, he gets a yes or no choice. And after that, he is surprised, because it turns out he can now see details like the type of meat and its quality, and his skill turns out to be useful. And then he notices other skills that are available for learning, which are quite good. The man says that Sora was speechless from the smell, and Sora thanks him for the food. And then he finally tries a piece of meat. Sora says that the food is incredibly delicious. He says that the spices and marinade give the demon meat a magical taste, and he has a real feast in his mouth. Despite its appearance, it is very juicy inside. He apologizes and reports that he hasn't eaten in a long time. The man laughs and says that Sora was able to describe his meat from the first bite and that the best chefs tried to learn his secret. Then he asks his name and he introduces himself to him. He understands Sora's situation and says he will help him, which surprises the guy. And Sora calls the kebab vendor a saint. He happily walks down the street in the cloak the man gave him, and he is glad he ran into a good person, and he sent Sora to a clothing store so he could buy something because he looks strange. He says that he is not tired at all, even though he walked across the whole city, and he realizes that this is the walking skill. Sora says that the clothing store should be here. He saw an inscription and asked what language it was, and suddenly its translation appeared, which surprised him. And he doesn't understand if he's the only one seeing this or not. And the store employee greets him and invites him in so she can take his measurements for clothes. He says that the clothes turned out great, just like in an RPG game, and the girl, looking at him happily, says that she tried her best, and then says that she would like to buy his old clothes from him because they were made of high-quality fabric, and offers him 3 gold coins for them, and the guy is in shock because he came to buy clothes and now he got clothes and will leave with money. He returns to the man's stall and he says that Sora now looks like a human, and the main character says that it's all thanks to him and thanks him for the cloak he lent him. And Sora asks if he can help him with anything. He wants to repay him for his kindness. And Sora insists very much on helping him, and the man, in turn, offers him a meat delivery, and says that there is a hotel over the hill managed by his friend named Ali, and Sora agrees, and says that he was just looking for a place to stay, and the man says that's great, and that Ali will also feed him. Sora leaves and thanks him, and the man stops him and gives him a frying pan and a tent, to which Sora thanks him again. The man says that Sora doesn't have a backpack and offers him his own, explaining that the backpack contains binoculars for stargazing, a boomerang, and a security bell in case of bad people at night. In the end, the man gave him a mountain of valuable things, and Sora thinks he won't be able to carry it. But then he doubts himself and thinks he can still do it, and the man doesn't understand how he's going to lift it. He lifts it, and the man says he might break his back. And Sora says that the weight disappeared when he took one step. Now Sora leaves again and thanks him again, and the man tells him to come again. He looks at the hill he needs to get to, and immediately corrects himself, saying it's a mountain, not a hill, and that some concepts are different here, and says that his old self would have given up, but, thanks to the walking skill, he feels like he's ready to move mountains. He notices an unusual bird and says that it has beautiful feathers. Sora uses the appraisal skill and learns that the bird is called a rainbow bird and only hatches at high temperatures, and its chest reaches a temperature of 95 degrees. He says that he's seeing something like this for the first time and there's a lot new in this world, and then reports that he's a little excited. Sora says that he thought walking was a useless skill, but now considers it a fantastic skill. He says that when he was thrown out of Alicia Castle, he didn't know what to do, but he met kind people and the food here is delicious. And Sora says that the coolest thing is that everything here is new to him. He says that he unexpectedly enjoys this world, and climbing the mountain he is surprised. He sees the city from which he climbed and understands all its beauty, and says that he was accidentally summoned to this world, and was thrown out and didn't know what to do, and even now it's hard for him to believe all this. But he is glad that now he has a purpose. He uses his walking skill to explore this beautiful world, and this is the story of how the summoned non-hero seeks his interest. He continues walking, and he has 3,000 experience points left until the next level. The scene changes to the next day. He says he was summoned to this world yesterday. He finally realizes that it wasn't a dream, and this is his first morning in the new world, and he wonders how to start a new day. Sora says he will start by looking for a job. He heads out onto the street, and he walks down the street and sees the man who helped him yesterday. He greets him. The man offers him a skewer of meat and asks if he wants some, to which Sora agrees and thanks him. Sora tells the man that he is currently looking for a job, and the man says that's great and asks what he can do. The man asks him if Sora has skills like alchemy or potion making, and he replies that he doesn't know anything like that. The man says that there is one place where no special skills are needed, and Sora heard hope in these words, that there is a job where no special skills are needed. The man says that it's a place where anyone can find a job, and he's sure that you can find what you're looking for there. He needs to go down the main street and to the west. There will be a large building and he needs to go there. Sora arrives at the Adventurers Guild. Sora says that it's like in an RPG and wonders what adventurers are like. He is impatient, opens the door, and sees such a picture before him. Two guys arguing with each other while others egg them on to fight. Seeing this, Sora's eyes are filled with despair. But suddenly, the two men who were arguing bumped into Sora, who was behind them. He fell face first, and the men, not even noticing him, continued arguing. He says that the place turned out to be completely different from what he imagined. And then a pile of books falls on him from above. These were her books that fell. She apologizes to him. She asks if he's new, and again drops a pile of books on him from above and apologizes again. And Sora says that he would like to join the guild. She turned out to be the receptionist. Her name is Mikaru. They were doing an inventory of old books, which is why there were so many, and she apologizes to him again. Sora says that it's okay. He says that she's a cute klutz, but not out loud, and he asks her if he can find a job here. The girl reports that he first needs to register. She gives him a knife and says that he needs a little of his red ink. He drips ink onto the paper, and then everything immediately transforms, and his name appears on the paper. Sora is surprised by what is happening, and Makaru says that his rank is E, so his card is white. Makaru tells Sora about the hierarchy of ranks in the guild from E to S, and the guy's rank is the lowest of all, and the girl asks him to look at the wall. She explains that here are all the requests from the townspeople and neighboring villages, which are taken and brought to the reception, where they are assigned to them. Makaru explains that upon successful completion of a quest, they receive points and rewards for rank promotion, and in case of failure, a penalty. Sora listens attentively. Sora doubts and says that he is not strong, and it is unlikely that he will be able to complete any task, but Makaru says that there are many simple tasks here that even a child can do. He looks at the bulletin board and tries to choose something. Sora says that there are many different quests here, but to defeat a wolf you need a sword, and he won't be able to handle it. And suddenly, a menacing-looking man appears behind Sora, telling him not to even think about going after the wolf. Sora replies to him and says that he wasn't even thinking about it. Sora doesn't understand why he's bothering him and calls him creepy, and the man tells him that these tasks will be suitable for him, and it's delivery, calling Sora kid. Sora takes many delivery requests and says that the guild is a scary place. He brings them to the reception to Makaru. She says that he has tasks for the merchants guild, apothecaries, and 6 more deliveries. She is shocked by the number of tasks. Sora says that he was scared of that guy and therefore took so many tasks, and it's also a reason to learn the city. She shows him his deliveries. He is surprised by their quantity. He takes everything on his back and leaves, and Makaru wishes him a good day. Sora says that in Japan you wouldn't meet such people, and even if they were in his school he would avoid them. He says that everything in this world is a little different and wonders if he can adapt to it. Sora says that he has work and now is not the time to fall into depression. And here we see him delivering his orders. 5 bags of flour for the merchant guild, and also for others. Sora is surprised that there are so many different guilds here, and also notes that he was treated to ice cream with an endearing expression. And he says that he is not tired at all and the walking skill is very useful. Sora opens his status. He is already level 6 and he says that yesterday it only took 1,000 steps to level up, and today for level 7 he has already almost taken 7,000 steps. Along with leveling up, he receives skill points and can learn something new, and then wonders why he has fewer skill points than his level, and then remembers that he spent 1 yesterday. He doesn't dwell on it and continues walking, and says that if he continues walking, he will be able to learn something else. He arrives at the next order. He apologizes before entering the house. A beautiful girl named Vanessa asks what he needs, and Sora says that she looks like an actress. He reports that he has a letter specifically for her from a person named Ray Renova. Vanessa's expression changes, and she tells him to stay put, as she will come down shortly. She has a confused look and he opens the door, and Sora hands her the letter. Vanessa signs for it and gives Sora another letter. She tells him that he will return to the guild anyway to complete the order. She begs him to deliver her letter to a certain man. Sora holds the letter in his hands, and Vanessa asks him again if he will deliver her letter. He says yes. Sora goes to Ray's house, the one to whom Vanessa's letter needs to be delivered. He knocks on his door. Ray opens the door. Sora asks who is in front of him. The man apologizes and asks who it is. After that, he mentions delivering a letter to Vanessa and adds that he has a letter for Mr. Ray from Vanessa. The guy says he wrote it and then tells her. When Sora says the name Vanessa, she falls silent. He admits he wrote the letter while drunk and calls himself an idiot, and the other guy is surprised by the word love letter. Then Sora explains that it's a reply to a love letter, and the man confirms that it's probably so. He refuses the item. The man remains silent. Following this, Sora supports the man and considers his reply good. The man says he's going to die for a minute. He wants to know what's in the note. The man reads it and asks what it says. Meanwhile, Sora says everything is ready. He congratulated the man on his glasses and unusual nose. And then Sora tells Ray that he should stop, but Ray shouts, "No!" He didn't expect this on the first day. At the same time, Sora announces that he still needs to report to the guild and says it's been a good day. He says he swallows, while three men look at him with tension and disbelief. In addition, Sora finished and shows the delivery receipts. The girl is surprised, and the man says he forgot about them and they need to report quickly before anything happens. He says he's not tired and thanks them, and the girl says he did a lot of work and didn't even get tired. Furthermore, Sora mentions the letter from Mr. Ray, which the girl confirms. He says he thinks they will be together. The girl asks how it ended, and he replies, In the end, Sora admits that he might have said something wrong. A group of men joyfully runs up to him, surprising Sora. He doesn't understand. The man praises Sora for a great job. After that, Sora says, "Guys," and the man offers the courier a celebration and treats him. The girls say it worked and agree. The man says they'll drink to that, and another man says Ray will kill him. The man says that the whole guild knew about Ray's crush, and says he kept silent for 27 years, which is why they are celebrating. When Sora says he didn't expect this, the man replies that Cupid brought them together. The man turns to the morning guy who is trying to get his attention. Then Sora says he doesn't want to scare her, and the man explains that he didn't want to offend her. The man says he tried to stop Sora when he was looking at the wolf quest, but almost killed himself by taking on deliveries, and calls him a man of his word. Following this, Sora expressed confusion in silence. He asks the man if he wanted to kill him. The man denies it and explains that he just wanted to protect him. Then he realizes the man was warning him of danger, and another man advises him to learn to speak more clearly. Meanwhile, Sora says he drew conclusions based solely on appearances. He asserts that after talking to them, it becomes clear they are good people. And then Sora says that the people of this guild are shouting "Hey!" at him. The man on stage announces that he is the main star of the day. He claims that everyone is friendly, and the other men drink to this and praise Ray. At the same time, Sora asks them to read to him, and the man with glasses says they are all bright and cheerful. He congratulates Ray. In addition, the man warns Sora about his small size, and another man explains that it's just juice, and pours it from a barrel into Sora's mouth. Sora fell in love with this world. Moreover, he says good morning, stretching on the bed after a week at Ali's inn. Sora reports that he has made new friends and was invited to drink together. He notes that his understanding of the world grew sharply as he immersed himself in the guild's work and life. The girl clarifies that Asuka prefers alcohol from the Republic of Eldo, surprising the guy with her origin. In the end, he reports that he now has a courier department, and the guild has started receiving orders specifically for him. Sora asks to open his status. After that, he claims that it can be opened simply by thinking. Sora reports that he leveled up and his knowledge of the status panel increased. As he walks, his level and skill stats grow. Sora claims that the appraisal skill improves with practice. Then he asks if he can acquire a new skill. Sora can't choose between appraisal lock, simple magic, and detection. Following this, a woman asks Sora how his day is, and he replies that it's good. Sora says that today he will go beyond the city limits and is already walking. Meanwhile, he suggests trying simple magic purification. He explains that skill points can be used to level up acquired abilities, and he is successfully leveling them up through use. Sora reports that all the week's dirt has disappeared, and that it's refreshing. And then he says he will gather plants, and the girl says this is his first order outside the city and asks him to do his best. Sora wants the order from yesterday. The girl asks about equipment. At the same time, he promises to buy something. The man is interested in Sora's equipment problems, offers to show him a place, and the girl addresses him by the name Safin. The man says that the owner is a bit rough, but the equipment is good. In addition, the man greets Sora. The man takes a puff from his pipe. Moreover, Sora notes the large quantity of weapons. The man said that the boy needed to prepare, as he was going beyond the city limits. The old man asked the boy what he could do. In the end, Sora stated that he wasn't very skilled but would like a sword or something similar. He understood, and the man brandished a sword, then explained what to do. After that, Sora notes that the sword is thin and small. It's his first real sword, which turned out to be unexpectedly heavy. He manipulates the sword, and the man with the pipe calls it pathetic. When Sora, a novice, asks about leaving the city, the man advises him to have a muscular friend. The man says that only a knife is needed. Then Sora says, "Just a knife." And the old man replies, "Don't mess with it." He says that he needs to open his status, and the man explains that everyone starts with training and leveling up. Following this, Sora says he knows what's needed and announces that it's swordsmanship. Soon, he offers to learn the swordsmanship skill right now and asks if he wants to spend 1 point to learn this skill. Meanwhile, Sora suggests trying the sword, to which the man pays attention. He declares that he doesn't care and can buy a sword if he wants, and an elderly woman calls him a fool. Then he demonstrates the ability to wield several swords simultaneously. And then Sora reports that his pipe fell out. The man with the scar expresses surprise, and Sora reacts sharply, holding the item. He states that he only has weapons, and the budget for armor is 1,300 gold. The old man asks if only weapons are needed. At the same time, Sora claims that she didn't anger someone, while the man claims the opposite and asks her to wait in place. He says the swords on the table are ready. The man with the cane announces that it's time. In addition, Sora notes that the Holy Kingdom sword is a rarity, and the man asserts that a sword, breastplate, knife, gauntlets, and rations will suit such a strong man. The man notes that the knife is roughly sharpened, but the shape is good. He approaches another character. He advises not to joke with old men and to show strength immediately. Moreover, Sora claims that the dragon leather breastplate can be worn under a cloak, while the man orders her to tear them, little one. He claims he's cool and thanks Safin for the place. Safin wishes him luck and leaves for training with his group. In the end, Sora says that this is his first time going through the gates to leave the royal capital, and the woman says that nature must be waiting for her. He declares that he has become a real adventurer and demands to spin around, and the guard asks for his identification. After that, Sora thanks and apologizes, and the guy warns him to be careful with monsters and poisonous plants. The guy shouts to open the gates. When Sora says he will finally go out, the gate begins to open. He asserts that adventures await him beyond the city. Then Sora said he had a sword on his belt and a full set of new hope, and ahead was a new world full of adventures. He claims that walking is only effective for walking, and he's a little tired of running. Following this, Sora lies on the grass and reports that time passes calmly in the outside world. He says that medicinal herbs are needed for potion making. Today's quest is gathering herbs. The journey from the capital to the location will take about an hour on foot. Meanwhile, the man claims he is nearby, referring to the map, and admits that his experience is limited to courier delivery, which makes him excited. Sora asks about medicinal herbs and is sure it will work, explaining the term appraisal. And then he says that his skill appraises not only the type of herb but also their quality, and he is almost a professional at gathering herbs for the quest. Sora claims that the best herbs make the best potions, and promises to choose only quality ones, using appraisal. At the same time, he notes that there are many herbs here, and also reports that full moon and mana herbs were in another order, and he will collect them while he is here. Sora says that's enough, but his back hurts terribly. In addition, appraisal and body strengthening gained a new level thanks to using appraisal while gathering herbs. The man merely utters, "Oh." Sora says he notices something in the bushes. Moreover, he stated that he forgot to enable the detection function. The man firmly grips the hilt of his sword. In the end, Sora hears a rustle, asks who is there, and notices a strange creature in front of him. He says one word, "What?" After that, Sora called this creature the cutest in the world. He says he might be hungry, addressing the creature which makes a goo sound. When Sora says, "Just a moment," and claims that rations are somewhere here, after which he shows the found items. He offers a piece and then reports that the creature ate it in one bite. Then Sora says that it's cute how it eats. He reports the appearance of a creature with ears and a moon on its forehead. Following this, Sora says that the taste doesn't suit him. Sora reports that the taste is awful. He admitted that he didn't know about Pai's condition and apologized. Meanwhile, Sora asks if everything is okay, and the man thanks him. After this, Sora reports that the creature is flying. He claims that the plush toy on his head is moving. And then Sora says he wants to go together. He reports that they are going and says, "All right." At the same time, Sora says he is hoping for something. He reports that 6 objects are approaching from the south. Then he admits that he doesn't understand his feeling. In addition, Sora warns of the need to flee due to approaching dangers. He sees a girl with 2 swords fighting attacking wolves. Moreover, Sora declares his readiness to fight the wolves, while the girl with the staff admits her fear but expresses support for Sora. He reports that wolves attacked these girls. In the end, the girl reports that they are surrounded by wolves. Sora says that there are girls here and they are fighting wolves. She notes that their equipment indicates they are adventurers, and all are wounded. After that, the girl tells Chris to step back, and the woman with the staff breathes heavily. Sora reports that the girl has 2 swords. She holds a wolf with one hand, while the other, the mage, looks exhausted. When he explains that in the guild's main hall he read about the wolves of this world, which are extremely fast, and if their mobility is controlled correctly, everything will work out. Sora said that the first girl is fast, but there are too many of them, and they won't cope with exhaustion. Then he says that the girl with swords is protecting the mage, but Sora says their death is a matter of time, and if he tries to help, then, following this, he stated that he had never fought in his 15 years and was ready to die. Sora reports that the situation became dangerous when 3 wolves attacked them and expresses dissatisfaction. Meanwhile, he is ready for battle while the wolves attack the girl and the girl with the staff and the guy with the sword prepare to repel the attack. Sora admits to killing a wolf with his sword, and then he protects the man from attacking wolves, and the girl reports that one of the wolves belongs to him. The guy claims he might die and utters the word madness. At the same time, Sora declared his readiness for battle but threw away his sword. He doesn't believe what's happening and demands an explanation. In addition, Sora reports that one of the girl's 2 swords is on the ground, after which he tries to grab it when a wolf attacks him. He asserts that the wolf is protecting him, despite the danger. Moreover, Sora reports victory and help, clenching his bloody hand and feeling strong heartbeats. Soon, he stated that he didn't believe what was happening. In the end, Sora says that they should go together, and Rapunzel with the staff reports that she is ready to accompany them. The girl admits they owe him their lives and thanks him. After that, the girl reports that Sora saved them. He extended a helping hand. When Sora shakes the girl's hand, a woman in a cloak with a staff observes them. He asserts that he is himself. The girl calls herself Chris. The woman introduces herself as Rurika and offers to get acquainted. Then the girl says that the corpses need to be cleaned before they rot. Sora is silent. Following this, he says, "Clean them up." Sora reports victory over the wolves, but the question remains, what next? Meanwhile, he says it's time to start. The girl with long hair and a hood agrees. The girl throws a knife into the pit, and then Sora says his stomach hurts, and the girl asks what he said. He admitted that he is a novice adventurer and apologizes. At the same time, the girl asks Sora if he handled 2 wolves. Sora replies that it was just luck. He admitted that his hands are still shaking after killing a living creature. In addition, Sora says "haha" and explains that he felt exhilaration while killing and threw the sword without thinking. He says something is wrong and it's not like him, and the man calls his name. Moreover, the girl claims that monster meat is expensive and offers to demonstrate how to butcher the carcass. The girl says the other one is tired and should rest, and the second one offers to help. In the end, Sora replied, "Aha." He explains that while she was learning, they talked, and reports that they are a D-rank adventurer duo with a quest to collect killer bee honey. After that, Sora explains that they avoided most of the wolves with magic, but there wasn't enough mana for all of them, and near the hive they encountered a pack of wolves or something similar. The girl asks what the penalty is for failing the honey quest. He replies that, having calmed down, he paid attention to her clothes. When Sora denies looking at the girl notices many exposed areas of her peer's clothing. He asserts that nothing is happening, and she asks what's wrong with him. The girl looks intently at Sora, who is surprised. Then Sora talks about actions, the girl expresses interest, and the man repeats to himself not to think about it. He explains that it's a magic stone which is usually located near the heart and is worth a decent amount, and someone calls Sora and asks how he is. Following this, Sora reports the research results, and Rurika talks about her results. He calls himself trash, and she claims that everyone needs practice. Meanwhile, Sora says that all that's left is to put everything in a bag. He wants to ask something, and the girl with short hair answers with a question. And then Sora utters the word purification. He reports that water begins to surround them. At the same time, Sora reports that everything is clean. The dirt is gone. The girl thanks him, and another girl also expresses gratitude. He says, and asks if it's true, and two girls report that few people know how to use purification. In addition, Sora admits that he didn't assume it was rare magic, and thinks it's better to keep quiet about it. He ties knots in the ropes, securing the cargo, and then the group continues through the forest. Moreover, Sora offers to take all the luggage, to which the girl asks if he is sure he wants to carry everything himself. He said it was time to return to the capital, and she was surprised. In the end, Sora reports that someone left, watching the departing person with a backpack. He reports that despite the difficulties, his first excursion out of the city was successful, and the journey back is peaceful. After that, the girl welcomes Rurika and Chris back to the Adventurers Guild. Sora claims that their meeting was arranged, and the girl agrees. When the man reports that they want to sell wolf meat, the girl says that it's a lot. Sora called the meat the guy brought trash. The girl said that trash disposal is free. Then the girl with the staff looks at him, the other one whispers something in his ear, and the girl on the left expresses confusion. Sora says he's not used to such a large quantity of medicinal herbs yet, and the girl confirms that there really are many. Soon after this, he reports that they failed to complete the Killer Bee Honey quest. Sora doesn't understand the noise. The girl says there were wolves. The man walks quickly down the corridor. Meanwhile, the girl reports to the guild master about the appearance of monsters near the royal capital, and the man asks if it's true. The man claims that there are no wolves in this forest, so it's a safe place, and invites the leaders of B-rank and higher parties to an urgent meeting. And then Sora tells Mikaru to notify the other guilds and the castle, and Mikaru replies that he understood. The man warns to be careful on the street. At the same time, Sora says that it sounds important, and the girl admits that she didn't think it would cause such a stir. The girl is glad they managed to sell the meat. In addition, Sora refuses to take half the payment, as the girl did not acquire his share, while another girl claims that it's okay, because he defeated half the wolves. The girl suggests going to dinner with them, and another girl says she wants to discuss something. Moreover, Sora claims that there is a restaurant here that cooks with what you bring yourself, and suggests bringing them pieces of meat. The girl is surprised and asks if it's really true. The girl suggested changing clothes and meeting in the evening. The man said that the meat would be delivered to the shop. In the end, Chris confesses her feelings for Sora, but he remains silent. The girl asks Chris to wait, but he runs off. He is interested in their conversation and notices that they are indeed close. After that, Sora states that when his stats improve, he will open his status. The girl clarifies that they have their own party. He claims he could be in the same party with them. When Sora says he's going to the inn, he claims it's cooked from his meat. Then the girl says that the local chef is simply a god of cooking, and another girl says they sometimes come here. The girl smiles and speaks. The girl remains silent, embarrassed. Sora tells the guy who is eating. Following this, he says it sounds like a restaurant critic, and reports that someone turned his trash into something beautiful. The girl explains that the food is very delicious. The girl is glad Sora liked it, and mentions the phrase, "Didn't know about this place." Meanwhile, he explains that his country is so far away that its name won't mean anything to the girls, and one of the girls asks if he is really from that country. The girl asks why Sora decided to become an adventurer, and Sora explains that various things happened. And then he says that in this world he wants to explore everything, and that is his dream. The girls listen to him. The girl says, "If so, then..." Sora says it's a wonderful dream. Another girl laughs and calls it a wonderful dream. At the same time, the girl reports that they also travel through different countries, and another girl says they lingered here a bit. The girl offers the other to join their party. In addition, Sora reports being invited to a party and expresses surprise. He is surprised and tries to say something. The girl wants to join their party. Moreover, Sora says that he is only an E rank and just a burden, and that he couldn't dream of more. He claims he will find stronger adventurers. The girl agrees. In the end, the girl admits that she knows they've only known each other for one day, but considers him very honest and that he didn't try to appear stronger than he really is. Sora says that he also doesn't hide if action is needed. After that, he called himself honest and expressed a desire to travel together. Sora said that if they think so, then thank you, and asked them to take care of him. The girl tried to say something, but Sora interrupted her. When the girl reports that he also thinks of them, she smiles. Sora is confident he will manage. Chris thinks otherwise, considering him weak. The girl finds it cute. Then he asks his companions where they are traveling from. One girl is from the Eldo Republic, the other is silent. Following this, the girl expresses an opinion about a place to live, and Sora mentions that the Eldo Republic is one of the 7 countries in the world. He states that the world is divided into 7 countries according to the books from the guild. Meanwhile, the man talks about the Borscht Empire, which actively promotes its xenophobia and advocates for human supremacy. The man says that the kingdom of Alicia is less extreme than Borscht, but partially supports human supremacy. And then Sora talks about the multiracial state of the Eldo Republic, existing thanks to mutual respect. The man talks about the Beast Kingdom ruled by the Beast King. At the same time, Sora reports that the action takes place in the Holy Kingdom of Freilen, where devout followers of their goddess live. The image shows a building and flying books with inscriptions about the magical people of Effa and a society of great researchers and mages. Moreover, dragons are on stage, and an inscription about the Refel Kingdom and dragon worshippers. The man reports that the 7 great nations lived in peace for a long time, but 10 years ago, the Borscht Republic declared war on the Eldo Republic. In addition, the man reports that that war engulfed all 7 nations. The man says that the world is exhausted by war. In the end, the woman reports that the nuns of the Holy Kingdom of Freilen declared that their goddess had sent them a message about the resurrection of the Demon King. The man reports that the 7 powers declared a truce to repel the monster armies, which even now are appearing in the dark forest and continue attacking the 2 neighboring countries. After that, Sora explains that their village was destroyed, and they had to find work to survive due to the war with the Eldo Republic. They went through a lot, moving to a new country. Sora promises to do everything possible to help. The girl asks Sora about his plans for tomorrow. He replies that he plans to do a couple of deliveries and that he has a day off. When the girl says everything is fine, she reports that there's something she would like to do with her companion. The guy pronounces "eh" in surprise, then asks, "What?" Then Sora stands opposite the girl with 2 swords, while the crowd behind them places bets and calls for him to defeat his opponent. He tells Rurika of his surprise at her actions. Following this, the girl spoke about the battle with the wolves and noted that the guy moved like a novice, not thinking where to strike. Sora claims he only has weapon skill. Meanwhile, the girl suggests a duel, and the man replies that it's not the time for grand speeches. Sora reports a sudden sword fight, and then Rurika strikes with her sword. Sora attacks the opponent, giving him no chance to defend. At the same time, he says that the girl swung with both hands, and her back is exposed. Sora claims that his sword moves where he wants it to, thanks to his skill. In addition, he notices that the girl used one hand for defense, not attack. Sora explains that the swords in the air begin to spin and fall to the floor, attracting the attention of those around. Moreover, the man says something, causing surprise among those present. Sora claims she is strong at D rank level, while the girl notices his attempt to strike her back. In the end, the girl notes that it's not bad overall and the man makes a sound. Sora points to an object in the forest and asks if anyone else sees it. The girl asks Sora what he means. After that, he stated that he was surprised that someone was worried about him. Sora reports a disappearance. When the girl asks Sora how he feels, he replies that he is not well. The woman asks him not to be beaten so hard anymore. The girl suggests taking a quest for the entire party as training. Then Sora announces his desire to exhaust himself, to which Recap explains that it is combat training, and the girl calls him by name. He warns of the danger of the journey, but says that to explore the whole world, he needs to become stronger. The girl joins in, saying journey. Following this, the girl asks if Sora has camped before. Sora explains that he actually hasn't and is excited because he's never done it or spent a night outside the city. The girl says that it takes 3 days to get from the city to the goblin habitat, which is ideal for a first expedition. She suggests improving his swordsmanship skills. He agrees, noting that they are a higher rank than this quest. Meanwhile, the girl reports that this is a thank you for their help in the forest and the quest reward is high. Sora thanks the girls and reminds them of the importance of details when taking quests from other cities. And then he explains that the journey to the Rhino village will take 3 days one way and the same back, so they need to prepare food and medicine supplies for 6 days. The girl claims that the quest reward is high, and they will be able to cover the expenses. She also emphasizes the importance of thinking about it. At the same time, Sora says it's fun to listen. The girl reports that they need to go and buy what's necessary and set off tomorrow. He reported that tomorrow they will set off as 3, and everything should go smoothly, but he is still worried. In addition, Sora says he can't sleep and feels like a child excited before a school trip. He turns to someone to his left. Moreover, Sora thanks for the care, and the flying creature asks if he's watching it again. He claims he is understood. In the end, Sora reports that his hand passed through the object. He says that the interlocutor seems soft. After that, Sora said that he was glad to see you. He lies on the bed and says that the time will come soon. When Sora reports that a fluffy creature is next to him, making soft sounds, he said it was a good morning for a hike. Then Sora recounts that when he woke up, the cute animal was gone. He wonders if he will ever meet it again, and the man asks to see his identification. The man talks about an incident in the forest and warns to be careful. Then he agrees with his companion. Following this, the guy wished the children good luck on their expedition under his leadership. The man warns that the journey to the village will take 3 days due to monsters appearing at the herb gathering spot. Meanwhile, Sora reports that in 2 hours of travel, they haven't met a single person. He finds the field of fluffy grass attractive, but the girls went on the quest for his sake, so he can't waste their time. The girl reacts to his words, and then Sora says that's great. The girl reports that the guys should try. He considers the day wonderful. The girl confirms the blue sky. The man agrees. At the same time, Sora is silent, and the man reports that there is a swamp there. Sora says he is falling. He calls it purification. She, an awkward situation. Another girl says it's a thoughtless waste of mana and laughs. In addition, Sora claims that he spends MP when using simple magic. He asserts that after mastering several skills, he identified various types: simple magic, appraisal, detection, body strengthening, and swordsmanship. Moreover, Sora talks about skills that use MP and skills that don't require it. He claims that when using simple magic, he spends MP and calls the spell purification. In the end, Sora explains that appraisal and perception are active skills that consume SP when used. He explained that MP is necessary for magic, SP for stamina and concentration, and passive skills do not require MP or SP. After that, Sora reports that using a skill after depleting the MP or SP bar will lead to losing consciousness, which he tested himself. He claims that skills do not consume SP when he walks, and therefore she always keeps detection active. When Sora says that SP is probably a stamina bar, and while walking he doesn't get tired at all. He discusses detection and appraisal, explains that SP will be consumed when using 2 or more skills simultaneously, and notes that it is useful. Then Sora says that the skill is simply amazing and brilliant. The girl notices events. Following this, the girl asks if they are really butterflies. Sora appraises the flying herbaceous plant, which resembles an insect, and reads the description of its edible petals and fragrant honey in the center. Meanwhile, he claims that these are not butterflies, but plants, and wants to try them, noting their sweet taste, while the girl pays attention to him. Sora claims that it's not an insect, but a plant with honey inside, and offers Rurika and Chris to try it. And then the girl is silent, and he smiles. And then the girl says she wants it, and he is silent. The girl denies a weakness for sweets, while another girl admits her love for it. At the same time, the girl exclaimed, holding a staff. Sora says, "Hop," showing a leaf. The girl reports that there is one. In addition, he says that this straw can be used. The man reports that there is honey inside. Sora and the girl eat butterflies, making sucking sounds. Moreover, he claims that the butterflies are delicious, and the girls agree to try them. Sora notes a sweet taste with fruity notes. The girl talks about freshness without bitterness. Another girl evaluates the smell. In the end, he asks if the wing is edible, and the girl replies that she thinks so, and says it's time to rest. The girl promises to cook something from it. After that, Sora says that this is their first joint camping dinner. He promises to cook delicious food, and she reminds him of the need to start work. When Sora says that first they will tear off the creature's wings and make a salad from them. He says that even though they are plants, he feels like he's doing something wrong, and the girls with monster hunting experience look at him questioningly. Then Sora reports that it is a salad of herbaceous insects. He says it's delicious, and the girls listen to him. Following this, Sora says that the fruit crunches and has a fresh sweet-sour taste, and the girl asks him to stop her, because it's very delicious. The girl advises not to cook it, but to spread it on bread or eat it as a main dish. Meanwhile, Sora tells Chris that it's time to get down to business, and Rurika reports that she understood. He asks what the girls want, and then the woman says that it's too cruel. The girl raises her hand and explains that she is using a magic vessel from which energy flows. At the same time, Anna reports that the animal is sleeping, and Maria is preparing medicine for it. The man said he made soup and offered to try it. In addition, Sora speaks and explains that they just wanted milk. He claims that they only kill out of necessity and believes that killing is bad. The man admits that he thought they had decided to kill her. Moreover, Sora claims that they only need milk and should not kill her, while the man confirms that he understood. He reports that they found several transparent bird eggs with transparent shells. In the end, Sora recounts that they mixed milk and eggs, added herbaceous insect nectar, and then dipped bread into this mixture while it soaked up the mixture. The girl reports that they mowed the grass and dug a pit. He explains that they lit a bonfire and are now adding oil, which they brought on the trip. After that, Sora holds something out in his hands. He talks about the dish raunchy toasts with leaves and herbaceous insect syrup. When Sora says that the smell of food reminds him of another world and fire. He notes that it's cool, and Anna says that they made galettes with honey, milk, and flour. Then Sora said, "Well then," and the girl wished him a good appetite. He describes a blue sky and a meadow where a cow stands. Following this, Sora says that the food is wonderful, and Kvastik expresses pleasure at the taste of the dish. He claims that the combination of sweet and sour leaves and honey is simply super. The girl didn't expect such a thing on a trip. He notices the animal. The girl says that butter with honey is also delicious. Meanwhile, Sora says he cooked meat on a fork, and the girl laughs and tries to touch the fluffy creature next to her. He addresses the creature, and then Sora says that it's milk, galettes, and nutty tea, and the girl replies that it's very delicious. The girl admits she is shy, even though they are both in the same party, and wants to communicate with Sora just as freely. At the same time, Sora regrets that she doesn't have a magic bag capable of keeping dishes warm. Chris notices that it's a strange feature, and Sora is surprised such a thing exists. The girl saw a magic bag at an auction that keeps food fresh and warm, but it's too expensive. In addition, the girl asks if that's what's inside that very bag. Rurika is called by name. Chris says that it is Rurika's area of expertise. Moreover, the girl says that it is. The girl notes that it is not spatial magic. In the end, Sora and the girl heard another girl start to speak, but she broke off. He reports that something is shaking or vibrating. After that, Sora admits his mistakes, and the girl asks Chris to repeat. Chris apologizes. The girl explains that spatial magic controls space. When Sora talks about a branch of storage magic that stops time to keep food fresh, the girl notes that Chris did well. The girl notes that there are few users of spatial magic, and mastering it opens doors to an elite circle. She is surprised why she had such an outburst. Then Sora says the party did well, and the girl claps her hands and says well done. He considers it convenient and would like to use such an approach. Following this, Sora clarified that the spatial magic skill was not on his list of learnable skills. He states that he has skill points left but doesn't know where to spend them. Meanwhile, Sora asks Chris about simple magic. Chris confirms that everyone is like that. The girl says that one day you just learn how to use magic. The girl explains that some books are written with special symbols that one needs to know to understand the content. She also mentions rare skills that can be acquired by reading such books. And then Sora thanks for the story and says that they need to change the atmosphere, as the conversation is awkward. The girl suggests stopping the mushroom incest with the phrase, "Don't argue with your mother." He reports that they have been on their way for a long time and his skill prevents him from getting tired, while the girl asks how far they have gone. At the same time, Sora is silent and turns to the side. Tension is felt in the background. He doesn't understand why he's being called and asks for an explanation. In addition, Sora feels someone's gaze and asks who it is. The girl asks Sora what's wrong, and he replies that it's nonsense. Moreover, Sora recounts that when he was in the royal capital and even after the journey, he noticed that someone was watching him ever since he learned detection. He doesn't understand why he's being followed after being kicked out, and assumes it might be people from the castle. In the end, Sora suggests spending points on learning the appraisal block skill of the first level. He states that this is his first camp and he is nervous. She says the sun will set soon and suggests setting up camp by that tree. After that, the girl says they will prepare dinner first, but then declines. The girl suggested exchanging skills to be ready for an emergency. When one girl talks about her body strengthening and detection skills, and the other talks about fire magic, wind magic, and simple magic. The girl asks Sora what he has, and says that he doesn't have to talk about skills he doesn't want to talk about, and also reports that she and Chris also have hidden skills. Then Sora said that he didn't expect to know everything about them, but it seems strange. He claims that he has learned several skills, but they are not developed enough to be effective in combat. Following this, Sora says that he is lost in thought or experiencing difficulty. He claims that he has simple magic and carrying, and the two girls agree. Meanwhile, Sora reports that they eat simple bread, soup, and dried meat on the road. He says that this means durability and lightweight. The girl says that the midday snack was an exception. And then Sora thanks for the food, the girl points out the lack of variety and taste, and the woman explains the usefulness of spatial magic users. The girl reports that the sun has already set. He recounts that one person will always be on guard at night and asks if he can handle it. The girl says that since it's the first time, they can be together. At the same time, Sora claims that he will manage alone and is not tired thanks to walking, and that detection will be useful. He states that he is the first and won't fall asleep from excitement. The girl says they are leaving it to him and asks to be forgiven. They leave. He tells them good night. In addition, Sora sits by the fire, and the girl sleeps, hugging her sword, and he says to her, "Hey Sora!" The girl reports that she has a minute. Moreover, Sora asks her to wait, and the girl replies that there is important information. He notes that Rurika also did well, and the girl confirms his success on the first day. In the end, the girl admits that she was worried about Sora, but considers it unnecessary. The girl says that Sora dreamed of traveling the world, and Sora thanks her. After that, he says that it's all thanks to another person and he has experience, and the girl thanks him. Sora reports that his companion has been traveling for several years. The girl asks if there's anything to tell. When he says he wants to know about the Imperial Arena, the girl says she is about to tell him about the Imperial Arena. Sora admits he understands the experience was unpleasant. The girl recounts that she was invited to a show she didn't like, but there was a lot of good too. Then he says it's the smiles of customers all over the world. Sora is happy to become a traveler. Following this, he says he understands and will also become a traveler someday. Sora and the girl laugh. Meanwhile, the girl tells Sora that she's glad he talked to Chris, and it was the first time she saw Chris talking to anyone other than herself. The girl thanks him for the friendship. And then Sora says that he is the only one having fun on the trip, and thanks the girl. The girl replies that Sora is wonderful, but warns that if he harms her, she will finish him off. The girl reports that that's all she wanted to talk about, and the guy says he never would. At the same time, Sora says good night, and the girl wishes her a good night. He asserts that he will destroy anyone who harms her. Moreover, Sora calls them his first friends in this world and strives to protect them. He recounts that in Japan he had no relationships with girls and was afraid of them, and then asks what he should do. In addition, Sora shouts and addresses the flying rabbit. He says, "You?" and asks, "How?" In the end, Sora says he is happy. In the second frame, the small creature makes sounds. He says he has never seen anything like it and adds that it is beautiful. After that, Sora declares that this is his first experience working together, and he intends to try his best, even if he doesn't know what to do. The man claims he has already been through a lot, and the little cloud confirms that it's not the first time. When Sora says that he needs to get to know them in his own sincere way, he declares that he doesn't remember his identity or location. Then the girl says, "Good morning, Sora." Sora says it's time to bake bread. Following this, the girl pours water on the man. He offers to wash up, and she agrees to help him. Sora expressed gratitude to Chris for the unexpected refreshment. The girl remains silent, and Chris leaves. Meanwhile, he says woo-hoo, and the girl reports that they are on their way again. Sora reports a new level and says that it's getting harder to level up, but he's happy. And then the girl says, "That's the one." Sora demands magic for preserving perishable food. At the same time, he explains that due to the difficulty of the usual way to raise a skill level, he used 2 points to raise it to level 2. Sora suggests trying out the backpack. In addition, he utters ha and demonstrates spatial magic. The man asks him to level up to store an item of that size. Moreover, Sora notes that the size is too large and suggests leveling up spatial magic. Then he clarifies that he will keep the remaining rations and possibly level up. After that, Sora reports that one ration is left in the storage inventory. He claims that he needs to take parallel thinking and improved recovery, and she asks if everything is okay and says he's falling behind. In the end, Sora decided to keep it a secret until he reached an appropriate level. He reports that they found a village deep in the forest after 2 days of travel. After that, the girl reports that she inquired before the trip. The locals are professional loggers, and according to the map, they are almost there. Sora reports that they are in Rhino Village. When he tells Rurika and Chris that it should be, Rurika replies that she thinks it's all goblins. The boy reports that adventurers have arrived and calls the elder to follow him. Then Sora warned of possible danger and urged them to be careful. He recounts that they arrived in the village, where they were met by a boy running towards the houses. Following this, Sora reports that everyone is looking at the house windows, discussing what's happening inside. The man begins to speak, then asks for forgiveness. Meanwhile, the man reports that the village is tormented by goblins and on the verge of collapse, and the girl says that the quest mentioned 5 goblins. The man explains that was the case when they sent the quest to the guild. The man explains that there were about 3 at first, but with each passing day, there were more. The girl asks why the quest wasn't corrected for a whole month. The second girl agrees. And then Sora asks how many more times he has to apologize, and the girl replies that the reward is inflated. The girl asks how many goblins. At the same time, the girl considers the number 102 incredible, and the man names the number 10. Girl, 20. Man, incorrect. In addition, the man admitted to lying and asks for forgiveness. The girl thinks it's a joke, the guy says there are many goblins, and asks if the quest will go smoothly. Moreover, Sora ponders before the battle with the goblins, while the other characters lie nearby. He asks the chief about the frequency of attacks. The chief replies that it's roughly once every few days. In the end, the man reports that they were here last night too, and in his opinion, they will return in 3 to 4 days, and the girl plans to rest today and go to their lair in the morning. Sora declares his intention to take a creature's life and asks if he can do it. After that, the boy calls Sora Mr. Adventurer. Sora thanks him for the visit. When he silently watches from behind the door, the boy cries and says something. The guy reports that all their chickens were taken, even his lucky one. Then Sora says that he read in a book that goblins enjoy the suffering of others, and notices wounds on the hand of the man who reports this. He claims that others have it worse, so everything is fine. Following this, Sora takes out a vial of liquid and drips it onto the wound on the boy's hand. The guy utters the word wow. Meanwhile, Sora offers to share potions with the villagers, and the boy notices that they are expensive. The guy thanks him and says it's better not to tell the girls to avoid their anger. And then the man says that he doesn't know how to fight, but will pray for Mr. Adventurer. Sora squeezes his hand. At the same time, he briefly confirms something with the word, aha. Sora hears the old man praying for their safety, and then the 3 heroes step forward. In addition, the girl reports multiple presences to the southwest and explains that they are already close and moving in that direction. Sora says that the people in the village are suffering from goblins. The girl pities how Sora's first hunt went. Sora assures her that everything is fine. The girl promises to help in any way she can. Sora thinks this is good, they will manage. Moreover, Chris will strike the goblins with her magic and confuse them. The girl says that they will panic and run out of their lair, and she bursts in and slaughters these creatures. The man reports that he and Chris will take on the main force. Sora explains that he will focus on the few who manage to escape. In the end, he takes the hilt of his sword and begins to draw it from its sheath. Sora recounts that books depict these creatures as fierce monsters, but upon personal observation, the situation is different. After that, he says he is going to take a sentient creature's life and kill it. The girl reports that she knows what he's thinking. Sora says that leaving them alive will lead to the loss of everything, including food, work, and a place to live. She asserts that it is not for them to determine what is right or wrong. When he says that they will not allow anyone to suffer again, and adds that at least this way. Sora is ready to attack when a creature with a long nose and claws attacks him. Then he strikes the creature with ears with his sword, hitting it in the stomach. Sora reports that this is the final blow. The girl thanks him for the work. Sora notices blood on himself. Following this, he says it's just a scratch, and the girl reports that it's an expensive potion that will heal itself. Sora extends a long ribbon and explains that he is wiping his face. Meanwhile, he says thank you. One girl remains silent, and the other smiles. Sora reports that after this, they collected all the corpses and burned them. And then he explains that this is necessary so that they don't turn into undead and the smell of blood doesn't attract worse beasts. Sora says that this is a ritual in memory of the dead. At the same time, the girl reports that 34 goblins have been destroyed. The man thanks him and reports that his companions' efforts saved their village. In addition, Sora reports that everything was fine despite the goblins, and asks him not to lie in quests anymore. The man agrees and promises to be more careful. The man invited them to stay for a feast. Moreover, Sora reports that they arrived in the village, where the residents are holding a celebration in their honor. The woman and man recount that once their son was almost stolen. They also mention the theft of half the pigs and thank the adventurers. The man and children express their gratitude. A crowd of residents also thanks the adventurers, while they and the girl listen silently. In the end, Sora addresses Mr. Adventurer. He thanks Mr. Adventurer. After that, Sora says that they are wounded. Then Sora reports that they will be able to play with their friends again and thanks him for taking care of the goblins. He asserts that his friends have already taken care of everything. When the man says it's good, Sora reports that he will grow up and become an adventurer like him. He asserts that he will become strong and be able to protect the village. Then Sora is confident that the other character will succeed, and he asserts that it will happen. He declared that he would redouble his efforts to keep up with his companion. Following this, the boy says thank you, calls to play adventurers, and says he's going. Sora runs to a group of people who greet him and then bows to them. Meanwhile, he stated that today he deliberately killed a creature with his own hands. Sora admitted that they had done a lot of evil, but it helped them protect Smiles. And then he says that he will probably never forget this day. The girl reports that she has never eaten anything like it. He explains that it is very delicious. The girl calls Sora, holding a plate of cookies. At the same time, Sora says that he urgently needs to try the prepared dish. He calls the dish delicious and asks about the bacon, holding a plate. In addition, Sora says that the taste brings him back to the past and he can taste a piece of home in this world, and the girl laughs at his reaction. The chief explains that this meat is a village specialty that spoils faster than dried meat and is therefore rarely sold, to which the girl replies that this is understandable. He notices the appearance of the old man and the girl, who are laughing. Moreover, the man says he's glad they liked it so much. The man says there's still a lot of food and offers to eat as much as they want. In the end, Sora claims that he is the only one who can notice the disappearing food and is about to explain it to the others. Soon the girl says, "This is..." The man asks not to say anything, and another man asks what it is, after which a spirit appears. After that, the man says there's nothing here, and fends off the attack of another man, who exclaims. Sora squeezes a soft-faced object in his hands. When he says that, the ball flies away again. The girl asks what is happening. Then the man explains that the phenomenon is when food suddenly disappears, and calls it an offering to the spirit or fairy mischief. The man reports that this year the forests are thriving and the livestock are healthy. Following this, Sora says, "Heh." The man says that today is a joyous day. Meanwhile, Sora reports that everyone is dancing around the bonfire. He stated that he overate. And then Sora asks Chris if he knows anything about fairies and spirits. Chris replies that it might be something like a fairy or a spirit. The girl claims that there are rumors about the existence of fairies and spirits. At the same time, Sora reports that fairies are like small people with wings on their backs. She clarifies that, according to the village elder, fairies can play tricks on people and understand their language. He explains that spirits are similar to fairies but without a definite form or appearance. Only users of spirit magic can communicate with them through their minds, understanding human speech although few can speak. In addition, Sora notes that the girl is well-versed not only in magic but also in other areas, and calls her incredible. The girl replies briefly. The girl denies it. Moreover, Sora claims that the probability of his true spiritual origin is significant, but other options are also possible, in his opinion. The girl conveys that the elder promised to share meat, and another girl invites Chris and Sora. In the end, Sora turned to the girl next to him and said, "Bacon." He and the girl are surprised by the amount of food. The old man calls them the saviors of the village and offers them as much as they need. After that, Sora asks if he can learn how smoked meat is made, and the old man explains that after processing, the meat is cured and smoked over wood, and offers to tell him more about it. The man reports that the village elder gave a lecture. When Sora says, "Couldn't they?" the girl reports that it requires quite a lot of work. The woman explains that the taste won't be the same if the wood isn't from the village, and Sora says that it was to be expected, given how delicious it is. He wants to cook meat because he liked it. The girl finds it difficult and is surprised. He asks permission to buy wood. Then the man points to a lot of firewood nearby and explains that wood doesn't grow around the village and isn't valuable enough to charge money for it. The man offered to take as much as they wanted. Sora and the two girls are surprised. Following this, the man thanks him for his help. Sora states that they won't carry it all, as the journey will take 3 days. The girl with the wreath on her head replies uncertainly. Meanwhile, he casts the storage magic spell and reports that 53 bales of firewood and 1 ration are stored in the inventory. The girl claims that it was spatial magic, and the guy agrees with her. And then Sora says, "I have a big secret." The girl says that even high-ranking parties want such a guy and envies Sora. He explains that he would like it to remain a secret. The girl suggests joining a very strong party and getting paid for it, and asks why he doesn't want to. At the same time, Sora admits that despite possessing spatial magic, he remains weak. He wants to gain experience to become stronger. Joining a strong party he considers a burden. In addition, Sora says he is glad and thanks them. The girl reports that if he wants to, they will keep him for now. The girl asks if he really wants to keep it a secret, and he replies that if he joins another party, they will have to part ways. Moreover, Sora says that he still wants to be with them. The girl reports that she and the other girl also want to. The second girl suddenly hits the man on the back, and he says, "Ow!" In the end, the man grabs the girl's hand, and the girl behind observes silently. Sora agrees, and the girl nods. After that, he says he doesn't know how to cook anything too complicated, and Chris asks if he can cook. Sora reports that after the feast, they headed back to the capital, and a new day dawns the next morning, when he reports that they left the village and started their journey back. Sora reports that they gathered supplies for the return journey. Then they followed the same path as on the way to the village and started playing word games about food. The girl asks what chocolate is, and the guy asks what pekanaduru is. Sora suggests setting up camp here. Following this, the girl asks if he will treat them to dinner, and he replies that he will try. Sora says he will prepare a backup dinner in case he messes up, and Chris reports that Sora has become talkative. Meanwhile, he says there's no need to raise the bar of responsibility even higher. The girl reports that she has high hopes for Sora, and another girl says that she also needs to try and cook something delicious to please Sora. Sora says it's interesting what he will cook with the village products. And then he says that he will see what can be cooked with these products, and reports that he has already figured out what to do. Sora said that the tubers in the village taste similar to potatoes. At the same time, he claims that they have cool patterns on the outside, but inside they are quite ordinary potatoes. Sora recounts that they will cut them into pieces, put them in the microwave, mix them with water and salt, and then fry them. In addition, he says that it's a bit sweeter than potatoes, but delicious, and offers to try it. The man reports that he will set it aside. Sora reports that today's star is bacon. Moreover, he says that it needs to be fried until it's a little crispy. Sora would like to add some onions, but they are not here, and the 2 girls nearby start crying. In the end, he reports that it's almost ready. The girl with short hair notes that her mouth is watering from the smell of melted butter. The girl with long hair notes that the bacon smells pleasant. Sora thanks them for waiting, holding plates of food in front of the 2 girls. She says she will add potatoes, season to taste, and fry them a little. After that, he says "Tada," and announces that he has prepared fried potatoes. Sora says that he is glad to see the other girl and reports that he has wanted to talk to her for a long time. When he reports that they have soup, which Chris prepared, and wishes them a good appetite. The girl says that Sora cooked softly and deliciously. The other girl notes that she has never eaten anything like it. Sora is pleased and asks if it's true. Then he says that the dish tastes sweeter and softer than ordinary potatoes and goes well with salty bacon. The girl notes that Sora cooks well and asks where he learned to cook ranchitoses. Following this, he recounts that his mother taught him to cook because in their time, boys also had to know how to cook. Sora recounts that he was praised for his cooking, and he started practicing. The girl says he is a great mother. Meanwhile, he says that Chris's soup is also delicious. Chris thanks him, and the girl reports that she put all her effort into it. Sora says that his companion's food is more delicious than his own, and the girl explains that his companion's soup is clearly better. And then he asks Rurika what's better, after which Rurika reports that both are winners. Soon Sora turned to the silent girl. At the same time, he expressed a desire to continue traveling with them. Sora reports that they are halfway there. In addition, the girl asks how long they plan to stay in this country. The girl says that they are currently D rank, but want to reach C rank to move to another country. Moreover, Sora said that he understood. The girl points out the need to take on a large number of quests to advance in rank, while the woman warns that they will stay here for a while longer. In the end, the girl reports something, starting with the phrase, moreover. The girl says they are having fun with Sora. After that, Sora said, the girl suggested working together a little longer. When Sora speaks briefly and affirmatively, he reported that they would soon part ways, and he needed to improve his skills and levels for strengthening. Then Sora says he wants to survive on his own and say goodbye to them with a smile. The girl greets everyone. Following this, Sora reports that Mikaru's energetic greeting made him feel like he was back home. The girl tells Mikaru that they are back. The second girl explains that she brought magic stones as proof of completing the quest. The girl is surprised by the number of quests and promises to submit the quest report later. Meanwhile, Sora reports an injury, asks them not to worry, as it's nothing serious. The girl notes that it wasn't easy for them. The woman feels relieved and offers to put a bandage on. He asserts that everything is fine, and the girl with the staff remains silent amidst the sound of a kettle. Then he starts to speak, but is interrupted. And then Sora asks what happened to the wolf pack. The girl replies that it's funny. The girl clarifies whether her companion means the wolf pack not far from the capital, and reports that they have already been successfully dealt with. At the same time, Sora claims that they are not that strong, and the girl expresses joy that everything went smoothly. The girl reports that there was a high-level monster at the head of the pack, as the guild master predicted, and such a quest usually takes a long time. In addition, the girl mentions past B and C rank adventurers who decided to cooperate. Sora warns of a high-level monster that was near the city. Soon he reports that nothing like this had appeared in the vicinity of the capital before, and that lately it's been somewhat restless. Moreover, Sora reports that they have a day off today and tomorrow, and the girl replies that they will see each other at the guild. He addressed the flying creature and said something, nodding. In the end, the man reports that Sora returned with them. The photo shows Ali's in among the trees. After that, Sora lies on his back and says he's tired. He talks about his first extermination quest, feels the act of cutting a goblin, and admits that he probably would have died without the help of these two. When Sora says that even if goblins are weak on their own, their power lies in numbers, he must become stronger. He believes he needs to train hard, improve his swordsmanship, continue using skills to level up, and actively travel to accumulate experience and skill points. Then Sora reported that he had been walking all week and gained a lot of experience. He utters the word status, looking at the screen. Following this, Sora reports that he has reached level 20 and gained the walking skill, which prevents fatigue from walking and restores health with each step. He asserts that his skill levels increased after a week of training. Meanwhile, the guy claims that with parallel thinking, he divides his consciousness between the brain hemispheres. Sora recounts that during the journey, he used his left hemisphere to sleep and his right for detection, to rest and monitor the surroundings simultaneously. And then he reports that at first, his SP ran out and skills were forcibly disabled, and then explains that his level is too low to use two abilities simultaneously. Sora admitted that he was scared, but thanks to improved recovery, his SP recovered quickly. At the same time, he explains that HP, MP, and SP recover naturally, but are consumed quickly, making this skill useful. Sora claims that he had nothing when he was summoned to this world, but now he has skills and companions. In addition, he says that his new life is going very well, and then asks himself to stop. Sora reports that the amount of experience needed for the next level has increased. After level 20, the increment is 20,000 experience points for each new level. Moreover, he clarifies that with each level, it will be harder to get skill points. Sora says he wants to learn new skills, but for now, he saves his points just in case. In the end, he says he still has a lot to learn, and at the same time makes a sound expressing slight pain or fatigue. Sora confirms. After which he reports that thanks to improved recovery, the cut has already healed, and says he loves skills. The girl suggests Sora bandage his head because of the injury. When Sora is silent, she begins to tie a bandage on his head, and a strange creature appears nearby. He laughs and is surprised by the reaction of the creature with ears. Then the girl asks the guy to look her in the eye, to which he warns that otherwise she will repeat the action. Sora says that every day brings a lot of new things, but he's having fun, and he will take on small quests, as nothing is planned for tomorrow. Following this, he reports that if he thinks about it. Sora admits he doesn't know who is in front of him, but with his level he might be able to do something. Then he asks for an appraisal, but the small creature declines the request. Meanwhile, he says, "In what sense?" And the man starts to speak, but is interrupted. Sora reports that several weeks have passed since the goblin quest, and he returns to daily capital life. And then he tells the uncle that he wants one skewer, and the uncle reports that he added an extra piece. Sora thanks the man for the food. The man is surprised and asks if he forgot to add a piece. Sora explains that he ate everything very quickly. At the same time, he says that their ranchy toasts with bacon were very much liked by the spirit of gluttony, who has become voracious since they returned from the village. Sora said he asked not to steal in front of people, addressing the flying creature. In addition, he noticed that someone doesn't like the royal castle and asks where he's going again. Sora asks if he feels an unpleasant aura. Moreover, Arko greets Sora, who reciprocates. Arko asks Sora if he's on a quest, to which he replies that he's waiting for Rurika and Chris. Safin notices Arko and asks why he's drinking so early. Arko explains that he's on vacation and just too lazy to work. Sora demands juice, the man orders it poured. The girl promises to comply. In the end, he utters a short word, expressing a question or surprise. Sora envies the party with two beauties. Another guy asks how he's doing, after which he reports that they are completing quests and recently were crabbing. Sora says he was doing courier work, and Chris recounts that they were hunting. Chris notes that Sora is quick, while she considers herself a disgrace. When they talk, he explains that they are fulfilling herb-gathering quests, and the man clarifies that it is indeed herb-gathering. Sora, "Atu, man, I heard you're good at that. Found a good spot." Then he explains the value of the appraisal skill, and the girl admits to being excited. Sora said that they were just learning how to distinguish herbs, and didn't expect appraisal to be so important, and also added that she doesn't want to attract attention. Following this, he says he wasn't asking about work, but something else, and the man replies briefly. Sora asks about his relationships with the two companions. Meanwhile, the man notes that Rurika has large breasts and is a tough woman, while Chris, though quiet, evokes cute feelings with her efforts. Sora claims that he doesn't view them that way, and the man confirms that he doesn't either. And then the man with the mug tells Arko that their professor is an innocent boy, and asks what kind of phrasing he has. Sora is silent, and the man says that someone likes him. Sora replies that he likes them too. The girl recounts that she likes something. At the same time, he claims that Sora apologizes for the delay. The man and the guy smile and the two girls enter. In addition, the man asks his friend not to rush and asks why he is in a hurry. Sora offers the ladies to have a drink with them. Moreover, he warns that it is necessary to be careful and vigilant during rest. Sora says that he is being called, and the man next to him pays attention to it. In the end, he says he is ready to help his brother, and the man confirms this and smiles. The guy asks Christian if she has a boyfriend, after which Sora notices that Arko shouldn't say such things. He doubts the truth of his words. The guy tells the cute girl that she is cute. When Sora says that until the girl is his, he can say whatever he wants. Soon he says that Anastasia and Dimitri might have a special relationship and asks the reason for the shaking. Dimitri asks Anastasia about their relationship and reports that he is handsome. Then the girl orders him to stand still, and Sora calls someone a fool. He sighs in frustration. The guy with short blonde hair apologizes. The girl understands, but notices that Chris feels uncomfortable. Following this, Sora says he, and the girl is silent. Then the girl looks at Sora and says something with a sparkle in her eyes. He reports that they have gathered together and suggests raising a toast to their friendship. Meanwhile, Sora asks what they will do next. He says that he wants to clarify something before the check. He was an E rank, but is already close to D. The girl confirms understanding. And then Sora explains that they will probably reach C rank after completing the next quest and leave this country. The girl claims that after this quest, everything will be over. At the same time, Sora says that he knew this time would come, but still squeezes something in his hand. He expressed a desire for it to continue forever, but not too insistently. In addition, the man says that time is relentless. Their time together is coming to an end. On stage are cards with the inscription D rank. Moreover, Sora sighed, and the girls looked at him. He reports that he rose to D rank, and the girl says that they have just reached C rank and congratulates them. In the end, Sora asks if the two plan to continue, and clarifies if this means their party is finished. The girl reports that they plan to go to the city of Phesis, and then head to the Beast Kingdom. After which Sora asks what kind of quest it is, and the girl replies that she has a request for them. He wants to join the quest with them. When Sora says he wants to gain experience on the escort quest, he states that he will return to the capital when they reach Phesis. The girl understands. The girl says they would be glad, and another suggests clarifying if the quest can be completed by 3 people. Then the girl reports that the journey to the city of Phesis takes about 10 days, and that Makaru was a little worried about the C-rank quest, but eventually allowed it. Sora reports that there are 5 days left until the quest. Rurika and Chris are going to rest a bit, but he can't shake an unsettling feeling. Following this, he reports that he took more delivery quests than usual to keep himself busy. Sora notes that he doesn't understand the purpose of wandering. Later he recounts that they lost their home and left the country after the war, instead of staying somewhere in place. Meanwhile, he says that the last one should be on the 3rd Northern Street and reports that it should be somewhere here. The girl states that the man in the top hat doesn't know how to play cards, and the man in the beret claims he will win if he plays by the rules. And then Sora talks about the surprise, and the man says, Sora. He says it's a delivery and refuses. Arco reports that he can show some good girls if he wants. At the same time, Sora claims that the delivery to the Dancing Black Rabbit establishment is specifically for them, while the girl offers to stay and play together. He claims he has work and leaves, and the girl and man discuss it. In addition, Sora reports that the delivery is complete, and it's time for him to go home. He wants to say something but can't. Moreover, Sora notices Chris and asks why she is alone in the red light district. The girl demands her money back. In the end, Sora says, "Eh." The girl asks him to stop. He shouts Chris's name, after which the girl reports that she has a boyfriend, and the man calls Sora. Sora is glad that the girl is okay and didn't expect to meet her here. The girl thanks Sora for saving her and asks what he is doing, as she thought he wasn't doing anything. When he says that he simply has a delivery and asks her not to think of anything else, the girl reports that she understood. The girl suggests meeting with Rurika after the delivery. Then Sora tells Chris that she herself went to the slave trader. The girl thanks Sora for protecting Chris. Following this, the girl tells Chris that he needs to stop doing stupid things. Chris asks for forgiveness and explains that everything he does depends on her. The girl replies that she also wanted to do something useful, and Chris thanks her. The girl warns of many dark and dangerous places, so they need to be careful. Meanwhile, Sora notices that Rurika is very angry, and the girl notes that it's the first time she's seen her like this. He asks the girls what one of them wanted to talk about, and then the girl reports that they had discussed for a long time when to talk about it, and the other girl apologizes for the late conversation. Sora reports that they are looking for their childhood friend. The girl asks who they are looking for. At the same time, the girl says that they parted ways with someone during the war. Sora asks if they are traveling in search of friends. In addition, one girl claims that their hometown was attacked during the war, while the other reports that it was the very first city attacked 10 years ago, and it was their home. Sora assures Rurika that the goddesses will come and save them, and asks if everything is okay. Rurika cries, and Sora calls her a crybaby. Rurika cries loudly and makes sounds of pain. Moreover, the man clarifies that they were always four: Eris, a diligent elf, and Sarah, a cheerful beast girl. Sora reports that the Borscht Kingdom did not attack, and the woman shouts to everyone. In the end, he reports that the front is already here and enemy soldiers are approaching, and the girl with animal ears asks her grandma. The man orders them to run into the forest, after which Sora says not to get caught no matter what. A group of people runs from pursuers in dark clothes. When Sora says, "Hey," attracting the attention of the crowd, she informs Chris and Sarishan. He reported that they would meet near the ghostly tree. Then Sora says they need to run, and helps the girl in the black dress get out of the crowd. He talks about the trees and the sky, pointing them out. Following this, retelling is impossible. The girl reports that she reached the ghostly tree, but asks where the others are. Meanwhile, the girl sits by a large tree and waits. The girl calls out Chris's name, and then Sora says that he is holding the girl in his arms, and the girl reports that they are running through the forest. The girl says that they didn't come, no matter how long they waited. At the same time, the girl recounts that they embarked on a journey to find their precious friends. Sora says that this is a painful past. In addition, of all their childhood friends, Rurika and Chris are the only ones who. The girl explains why these two love each other so much. Moreover, Sora thanks them for the information. He asks where to look for clues. The girl says that children captured during the war were often sold into slavery. In the end, Sora explains that having been captured and sold into slavery, they could end up in any country. The girl says that they became adventurers and inquire about them in different places. After which the girl went to ask a slave trader for a favor and paid for it, to be contacted by the guild if there is any information about Sarah or Eris. The girl warns of the need for caution in the future. The man remains silent. When Sora says that this might be a suitable place to look for clues, but still, he notes that 10 years have passed since the war and asks why they are sure they are alive. Then the girl on the right tells the girl on the left about her feelings. Sora claims that he has 2 stones in his hands. The girls claim that these stones possess special power. Following this, he recounts that these drops are special amulets with a unique pattern inside. Sora asks. Meanwhile, he recounts that his grandmother told them about spirit amulets, 4 of which are connected into one whole. The girl says she feels it, and the amulet reports that they are alive. And then the girl reports that it doesn't sound great, but they wanted to stay longer. The second girl says they should continue the journey. Sora declared that they are embarking on a search, and he is confident in his companions. At the same time, he recounts that they became adventurers to find their lost friends, and reports that they have stronger personalities than he thought. Sora expressed pride in the party and confidence in them. In addition, he plans to visit all possible countries and look for clues about Sarah and Eris. The girl says she doesn't want to involve him in her worries, and another girl adds that he doesn't have to. Moreover, Sora asserts that he does not wish to be misunderstood and insists on his desire to help them. The girl and he remain silent. In the end, Sora says that he cannot allow another person to die and places his hand on the girl's hand. He thanks them, after which Sora notes a pleasant morning. He recounts that last night, while leveling up his detection skill, he noticed something. Sora clarifies that there are 3 days left until the escort quest. He claims that he was being watched, and it seemed to him that he was being followed. When Sora says that he acquired the stealth skill and others, he wonders who needs it. He claims that he doesn't understand why he is being watched, but continues to pretend not to notice. Then Sora admitted that he hesitated for a long time before mastering the cooking skill, but for traveling in a big world, good food is simply essential. He says that it is important to know which ingredients are poisonous, and reports on today's plans, noticing huge birds. Following this, Sora says that he is going into the forest to gather herbs and try out new skills. Despite the wolf extermination, although she is scared, he considers this a good place. The small creature agrees. Meanwhile, Sora says that before this, he said that he was hungry and it was time to eat, and then added that he had left the last piece of bacon. And then Sora said, "The dish spoiled." He believes that if the spatial magic level is insufficient, time will not stop, and he needs to increase it. At the same time, Sora notes that he doesn't want to be touched, and laughs, mentioning the phrase, "Don't worry about it." After this, he notices the small creature poking him. He is going to cook bacon as he was taught in the village. In addition, Sora reports that they have pork for bacon, and out of curiosity he took some wolf meat. He reports that he prepared the meat according to the elder's instructions and now needs to get firewood from the village. He plans to lay wood at the bottom of the pan, placing herbs to separate the meat from the coals. He also admits that he pricked his finger with a splinter. Moreover, Sora explains that the meat is placed and the skin is used as a lid to prevent smoke from escaping. For a better taste, wolf meat is smoked longer than pork. He said that the cooking skill prompted him to leave the wolf meat for longer. Now he has to wait. In the end, Sora says noogie noogie to two small creatures. He calls them cute creatures and suggests using appraisal to identify them. After which Sora recounts that Michiwo can be found in forests. They look pleasant and have a relaxing effect. Sora wants to pet the Michiwo, but they are cautious of him, and he cannot get closer. Then Sora reports the use of stealth. He describes the creature as smooth, used to weaken its presence and effective against observation. When Sora says that they are so cute, she explains that it is a blessing. He says he didn't mean to hurt them and asks for forgiveness. Then Sora makes a WS sound, looking down through the fence. The man notices the pale color, but the smell is like in the village. Following this, Sora says that everyone will get a piece. He says the food is delicious. Meanwhile, Sora noted that the food's taste wasn't like in the village, but it was still hot and tasty. She added that the pork was juicy, and the wolf meat had lost its smell due to the aroma of the wood. He reports that he's full from bread and bacon, and suggests trying the alchemy skill. The man reads the list of potion production and is surprised that potions can only be made from herbs. And then Sora says that they take medicinal herbs and pour mana into them, imagining the result of the potion. He claims that he actually created a potion. At the same time, Sora claims that it's a real thing and asks about the logic with the flask, while the man ponders the appraisal. He reports that the potion heals wounds, it can be consumed or discarded, the effect is weak, the quality is low. In addition, Sora claims that it's an ordinary low-quality potion and suggests making it himself. He asks if it works as it should, and suggests trying to use it on the splinter he got earlier. Moreover, Sora reports that the pain is gone, but the finger is still red. She asks if the recovery effect is insignificant. Another character replies that it's good. He states that he will use quality herbs and increase the mana dose. After this, he reports that the potion worked, evaluating the result as successful. In the end, the recovery effect increased from insignificant to slight, but the quality remained low, and he would have to use more skill points. He asks whether to drink or pour and drinks from the bottle, after which Sora reports that he drinks from the flask, and a stream with the image of a funny creature erupts from his mouth. He says it's bitter. When Sora says that he can't get hurt, otherwise he'll have to drink something. He says that the homemade bacon was delicious, Rurika reports that it's super delicious, and the girl with long hair asks if it's wolf bacon. Then Sora reports that he leveled up his storage magic and put useful things from the kebab uncle there. Sora says it's time for him to go. He reports that after living in the inn for about a month, he will leave for a short time, and the woman says it will be lonely here and asks him to return soon, promising that there will always be a place for him. Following this, Sora reports the start of Step 24, the escort quest. He says he prepared a lot for this, made more bacon, and raised his fencing level. Meanwhile, Sora reports that he can now read part of the profession list, which was previously almost unreadable. He put off reading until he levels up and will consider available professions with current skills, but doubts if he can change his choice in the future. And then Sora heard someone calling him. The girl waved and asked him to come over. He notes many people, and she points to 7 horse-drawn carriages and 5 escort parties. At the same time, Sora says that they are not only on guard, and the man wishes everyone good morning. Dalton thanks for the quest and reports that he leads the caravan. In addition, after leaving through the western gates, they will walk for 4 days to the city of Alka, where they will stop for 1 day, and then reach the merchant city of Phesis in 6 days. The man says they will look after the quest and looks forward to working with them. Moreover, the man reports that they are members of the veteran party Goblin's Bane of rank C, and suggests the leader say a few words. Sora tells Safin that they are on the same quest. In the end, Safin speaks about Ray's offer and introduces himself as the leader of Goblin's Bane, noting the newcomers on the escort quest. Next to him, a girl and a man try to get attention. The man warns that the journey will be dangerous, and the woman suggests having fun. After which Sora says his first escort quest is about to begin. The man announces to open the gates. He announced that the carriages would be loaded and move slowly, so everyone would have to walk alongside, as there were no seats. When the girl told Sora that they should do their best, Sora agreed. He asks if they are newcomers. The guy with the mohawk greets them and says that only he is new, as the girls have already done this. After that, another guy says he will be friends. Then the man reports that this is their first escort quest and it seems like it will be easy, as they just need to walk alongside, and Sora agrees. The girl warns of the need for a serious approach, as they have already taken similar quests. The man assures that they have enough stamina for 2 young ladies. Another man notes that it's fun there. Following this, the guy says that the task is not so simple. The girl expresses concern for the newcomers and asks if they will be all right. The man says that the quest seems easy, but requires constant attention to the surroundings due to possible attacks by monsters or bandits. He describes it as a simple but difficult task that requires constant movement. Meanwhile, Sora talks about the constant watch that is exhausting and reports about the penalty for loss or damage of cargo. The man says that novice adventurers often face exhaustion due to inexperience and that the need to maintain the pace of travel will be a test of endurance. And then the guy assures that no dangers are foreseen until Alka, and the man says that overcoming difficulties contributes to their personal growth. The guy notices joy in others and assumes that they are either foolish or showing real potential. He is going to see what becomes of them. At the same time, the man reports an approaching caravan with carriages and people. Sora sighs. The man is silent, holding his stomach. In addition, he claims that every time a cart passes by, he thinks it might be bandits in disguise. The man says he can't get rid of that thought. The girl explains that every time she hears something in the grass, she expects a monster to jump out. The guy insists on the need to keep moving and remain vigilant, claiming that it is difficult. Moreover, Sora says to freshen up. The man thanks him, another man drinks, and the girl asks if he can use simple magic. The guy notices that his companion doesn't look tired and is surprised that he might be a newcomer, like them. In the end, Sora says that his walking skill saves him. He reports that he has activated the detection ability, allowing him to check other carts and the surroundings without consuming SP when using skills, as he is walking. After which Sora reports that he gains guild experience for escorting the quest, trains skills and earns experience for each step, and also kills 3 birds with 1 stone. He said it was better to be silent, and the man asked why he was smiling. When Sora says he just likes walking, he says that someone is just crazy, and the bearded man reacts to this. Then the man said that everyone did well and suggested setting up camp for the night. Sora reports that everyone is exhausted and lying on the ground, unable to move further. Following this, the man says that it's only the first day and once they reach Alka, they can ride in carriages, and he reports that it's still 3 days on foot. Sora noticed something important. Meanwhile, he asks about the condition of the others after the incident. The man is surprised and says that Sora handled it well. And then he reports that he will try to help set up camp when asked if he can still walk. The man is surprised how the other can still move. Sora says that they need to cook food. He knows how to cook. The girls promise to help. At the same time, he reports that the ingredients for dinner are provided by the client. This is the first time he's using such a large pot with ingredients from this world. The man expresses hope for a successful outcome. Sora claims that some ingredients have an unknown taste, but her culinary talent will handle it, and today they will have a hearty soup with aromatic spices. In addition, he claims that all the difficulties of travel can be overcome with good food. Sora notes the spiciness of the soup, and the girl points to the variety of ingredients. Moreover, he knew that the girl was an excellent cook and could cook anything because she was helped. The man laughs and understands what she wants to say. Sora says that he needs to leave the bacon for others, then happily shows the plate. The girls agree that the bacon is the best. In the end, the girl asks Sora where he is going. He replies that he found a lot of food in his magic pantry and is glad he thought to make so much. Sora said that the other participants are probably still hungry too, and he will go and share with them. The girl listens to him, after which he reports that they form a C-rank party called Goblin's Bane. Sora says, "Good evening," and the man addresses him by name. When he asks to sit down, the man apologizes for the inconvenience, and the girl invites him to join them. The woman greets Sora and says that Safin told them about him. The man adds that Yuno is his wife. Sora is surprised. Then the man says that they were just talking about Sora, and he reports that they have a little one with character here. Sora thanks him. The man notes a good pace. Following this, he reports that he cooked something and thinks others might want some. The man notes that he is considerate. Sora asks what it is, and the girl asks if it's cooked or raw. The man remains silent. Meanwhile, the man tastes the food and says it's delicious. The others agree with him. Sora claims that he learned to cook this in the village where they went for a quest, and is glad that they liked it. The girl notes that the food is so delicious that she would eat it every day. The man explains that such a thing is rare even in the capital. And then the man speaks to Sora, and he remains silent. Sora reports the disbandment of the party and suggests joining their group. At the same time, the man is surprised to hear from Sora about her stamina, strong legs, lower back, and culinary skills. Sora agreed to the offer, and the man added that a guy like Sora joining would be beneficial and fun. In addition, he says that after uniting with Rurika and Chris, he realized that he had a long way to go. The man reports that he is glad he thinks so highly of him. Sora wants to travel independently, but cannot take care of himself. He asks them not to hesitate to invite him again. Moreover, he apologizes and thanks for the invitation. The man reports that he was rejected and sighs. Sora demands notification if he changes his mind. The man agrees. In the end, he thanks everyone and tries to say something else. Sora realizes the potential danger to others if he changes parties. After which he shared his dream with other adventurers and merchants, and then heard many stories about this world. Sora cannot fall asleep due to breathing. The girl suggests trying to fall asleep, thinking in parallel. When they reached the first stop, the city of Alka, he reported that there were fewer high-rise buildings here, but the city landscape was beautiful. The man announced a day off, saying they needed to unload the cargo. He advised them to rest while they could, and added that everyone did well. Then the man warns of possible danger and reminds them of the need to replenish potion supplies. Another man replies that they are not listening. Sora reports that tomorrow they are free and asks what they will do. The girl rejoices and says, "Hooray!" Following this, he says that there is something he wants to do. The man reports that the city of Alka is located not far from the capital, and the final destination of the route is the merchant city of Phesis, where merchants unload and replenish their goods. Meanwhile, the guy declares his intention to sleep all day, and the other adventurers are idle, each in their own way, spending time in bars. Sora greets the guys, and the girl says, "As for us, we," and then on stage for horses move at high speed. Sora reports that the carriages are ready to depart. At the same time, he reports that they are taking care of the horses. The girl asks Sora why he decided to take care of the horses. Sora replies that it's his first time seeing them and thinks it's a sin not to try. In addition, he thanks them for agreeing and notes that everyone is probably tired. The girl says they were interested in seeing the horses. The second girl states that they are fine after a good night's sleep, but he replies no. Sora reports that Dalton gave a couple of tips yesterday and suggests they start, and the girl greets everyone. Moreover, he claims that it is important to start with feeding, as horses in this world also like vegetables resembling carrots. The guy feeds the horse a carrot, and the horse chews it. In the end, the girl speaks briefly, and the horse calls her cute. The girl tells the horse to eat as much as it wants because she has a lot of fish, and then reports that she will go get more. After which Sora speaks to Chris, and Chris screams when the horse bites the girl. He reports on the upcoming cleaning of the horse, explaining that after 4 days of travel it has become dirty, and he will make it clean and well-groomed again. When Sora says that they are washing the horse, he explains how important it is to clean it thoroughly. He believes that washing horses is tiring and will take a long time if they continue at this pace, and the girl agrees. Then Sora casts a purification spell, and the horses become clean, starting to move joyfully, and the girls clap their hands. He says that next they will brush their coats. Following this, Sora notes the horse's good physique and the ease with which the brush glides through its coat, adding that the merchants raised it with great care. One girl says that it's pleasant, and the other wants to too. Meanwhile, Sora reports that they are taking care of the horses together. He hears a thud, holding a brush for cleaning the horse. And then Sora asks the small creature if it wants to be petted. He says he can't touch another person, therefore. At the same time, Sora speaks of sadness, observing the crying fluffy creature next to the horses. He casts a storage magic spell and takes bacon out of the air. In addition, the guy feeds the fluffy creature, which eats. Sora considers the boy impudent, observing him on the horse. Moreover, the girl reports on the readiness of the horses for departure and authorizes movement. The man declares his readiness for battle with the horses. The man thanks them for taking care of the horses and says he can already hear joyful neighing. Sora reports that it was a wonderful experience and thanks them. The girl notes that the horses are very cute. In the end, the man notes that horses are good partners for people and expresses joy at the words heard. The man offers the horses a ride. After which Sora says that he wants to say something, and the girl with short hair asks him to continue. He claims that he is succeeding, and the guy asks if he is really on a horse. When the man says that horses are sensitive to emotions, the girl asks if they are used to people. Sora believes that their relaxed state indicates the kindness of people and hopes that this is the case. Then he says that this solar eclipse happens once every 100 years. Sora talks about the beauty of the views from above, and the girl remains silent, looking at the landscape. Following this, he says that the girl is beautiful, then reports that it's time for them to go back, and the girl agrees that it's time. Sora pronounces short phrases in surprise. Meanwhile, he ordered them to run, and then screamed "AH" while riding a horse. Sora ordered them to go faster, with 2 girls and a man on horses laughing behind him. And then the man reports that the next stage of the journey from Alka to the merchant city of Phesis will take 6 days. Sora suggested doing this. At the same time, the guy shouts to a group of people gathered between 2 horse-drawn carriages. Sora reports that most of the carriages were unloaded in Alka, which freed up space for new goods and adventurers. Now there's no need to walk from Alka to Phesis anymore. In addition, he reports that they are responsible for carriage number 3. The guy says that some adventurers are sitting on the roofs of their carriages, surveying the surroundings. Moreover, Sora notes the convenience of sitting and invites someone. Then he tightens his shoelaces. The guy warns of shaking. The girl accelerates the pace. In the end, Sora says that this often indicates people who are not used to it. He orders them to run. The girl with short hair and the girl with long tails reply that they are also running. After which the girl asks Sora what's wrong with him, and another girl reports that they are fine. Sora asks Rurika and Chris if they are okay. He reports discomfort in his lower back and nausea from the shaking, but then clarifies that thanks to his improved recovery skill, he got rid of the nausea and butt problems. When Sora says that he is fine and can endure anything, despite the returning nausea and possible worsening of his condition, he is confident that this will help develop the skill. Then Sora reports that they are setting off in carriages, and the girl says that a long journey awaits them. He reports that the guys plan to go their separate ways after Phesis, and his friend confirms this. The man says that traveling with 2 beauties is very sad. Following this, Sora says that if he were in the other's place, he would just go with them and even give up trading, and then laughs. For days have passed since they left Alka, and the carriages are on the move again after a food break. Meanwhile, Sora reports that it's still about 2 days to the merchant city of Phesis, and everything is going smoothly. He reports that he received a detection message somewhere to the right in the forest and says there are no problems. And then Sora says, "Guys," and then shouts, "Stop!" He claims that no one is aware and asks if he can talk about it now. At the same time, the man tells the girls that he doesn't understand, and Sora replies with uncertainty. He admits his ignorance and doubts about the existence of monsters, fearing that his ability will be revealed. In addition, Sora says that someone will notice, even if he says nothing. Then she asks what happened, and explains that she thought her friend didn't like going through things. He doesn't understand why the creature is looking at him like that. Moreover, Sora stated that he is surprised and concerned about what is happening. He warns that all of them may be in danger, but he himself is only worried about himself. In the end, Sora tells Rurika about an unsettling feeling regarding the forest to the right. Rurika asks him not to speak directly and to shift responsibility to someone else. Sora cannot say what it is, and asks if Rurika can check it. He considers the situation urgent. The girl reports an urgent dispatch from the site, after which the guy reports that judging by their size they are probably wolves approaching, and that there are 6 objects to the right. The man orders them to stand. When the man reported 6 monsters coming from the forest on the right, he assumed they were wolves. He ordered them to take a battle formation, noting that the main task was to protect the merchants and horses, and the secondary task was the cargo. The man assures that there are many wolves, but the guy hopes for the best. Then Sora notices an inconsistency. The man says that their movements are strange, as if one is chasing 5 others, and reports that they are coming. Following this, the scene depicts an attack by a group of wolves and a large tiger. No one speaks or reports. The man reports a tiger wolf and warns of the threat. Meanwhile, Sora claims that it is a tiger wolf. He reports that the wolves were running away from the tiger wolf. The man recounts that the wolves howl and whimper, and the tiger wolf attacks one of them. And then the man reports the approach of a pack of wolves, which are rapidly running towards him. Sora reports that the wolves are attacking the tiger wolf to save their own. At the same time, 5 wolves attack him. Sora describes the wolves' confrontation with the tiger, their attack, and the predator's reaction. In addition, he claims that he threw them back with 1 blow. The wolves make sounds. Moreover, 2 wolves react to the growl of the large beast, which opens its mouth and makes a loud sound. The guy warns of approaching wolves and orders them to prepare. Sora instructs the newcomers to guard the merchants, and the rest to go after the wolves. In the end, he suggests not panicking, and to let the party take care of the tiger wolf. The man notes that they haven't rested from the journey yet and will only get in the way, and asks if they want help. Sora says, "Observe," after which the woman tells Safin that they are coming, and he replies that he understood. Sora sees a huge beast approaching and preparing to attack. When Yuno tells Yuno that she is leaving the vanguard, who will cut the enemy into pieces, Yuno reports that today Yuno is so beautiful. Yuno reacts to this with words. The man notices the approaching tiger and prepares to attack. Sora and the man are ready for the attack. They deflect the monster's blow with a shield. The man confirms readiness for battle. Then the man and another fighter attack the huge wolf, wounding it with an arrow. Sora is ready to shoot. The man with the bow and other characters observe. Following this, he notes their coordination. The girl claims that the monster has no chance to release an arrow faster and without the help of wind magic. Meanwhile, Sora claims that this is Goblin's Bane. The man reports that this is a party of veteran adventurers. And then the man reports that the tiger wolf is still alive and its shaking can be heard. Sora reports that experienced fighters are battling 3 wolves, and the newcomers are guarding the merchants, while the goblins fight the tiger wolf. At the same time, he reports the approach of a huge fiery wolf towards the group and warns of danger. Sora exclaims, addressing the guy, and another man says that it's Goblin's Bane. In addition, he says that they have wolves, and urges them to stop watching. The man shouts and attacks the wolf, and another man reports that it's great. The woman says that they are all strong. Sora confirms that this is true, and another woman warns that it will all be over soon. Moreover, he says that they need to move on, and everyone listens attentively to him. Sora asks if there's something there, and then notices that something is wrong. At this moment, wolves run out of the forest. In the end, the guy stands calmly while a wolf growls and jumps at him. Then several wolves run in one direction. Sora warns of the pack and danger, after which the girl reports that another pack of wolves has appeared. He explains that he turned off detection and didn't notice them. He asks the guys not to panic. The girl says that their duty is to protect the merchants. When Sora agrees, the girl attacks the wolf, dealing a strong blow. The girl reports that the opponent is at -1 HP. Then Sora casts a fire magic spell and releases a fireball that burns the creature. He strikes the fiery beast. The girl stands nearby and observes. Following this, Sora reports a second hit, the man notes an excellent combo, and the girl uses wind magic. Chris says he did great, and John confirms his success. Meanwhile, the man notes that the newcomers are noisy. Soon Sora reports the appearance of another pack of wolves, after which one of them attacks them. And then the man shouts as a huge beast rushes towards the group of people, and one of them screams in pain. The man shouts for Rurika to run. At the same time, Sora says that the attack is coming from two sides and reports that it's bad. He won't make it in time. He attacks the monster with his sword, receives a counterattack, and falls. The girl shouts his name. The man looks on with alarm. In addition, Sora threatens the attacker that he will not allow his friends to be harmed. He declared that he is against the tiger wolf and is preparing for battle. Moreover, Sora says that the outcome with his skills is clear, and he must run. The girl shouts Sora's name when a wolf attacks her. He claims that wolves are everywhere and he cannot move. The girl attacks the wolf with a sword. In the end, Sora reports that he has no chance, and the girl orders him to run, warning of danger. He reports that Safin and the others are already on their way. Only a few seconds remain. After which Sora says that he needs to hold on for just a few seconds, and hears a call to do so. The girl screams as the tiger attacks him. He prepares for battle and strikes the ground with his sword. When Sora strikes the huge beast with his sword, which lets out a loud roar, the girl observes what is happening with alarm. The girl points out that the opponent realizes the difference in strength, emphasizing defense and a strategy to buy time. She notes changes in the opponent's style since the sparring. Another girl addresses Sora, offering help. Then Sora says that both the tiger wolf and he are moving too fast. The girl reports that she cannot aim, and asks since when he has been able to move so quickly. He claims that he will be able to hold on. Following this, Sora claims that his parallel thinking skill allows him to effectively process more information and act in battle. He declared that he does not miss a single movement and sees all of the opponent's attacks. Meanwhile, Sora reminds them of the need to remain calm, as there is very little time left. He notes changes in his body and the appearance of the skill panel. And then Sora reports that his SP is depleted, as he hasn't been walking. He falls backward, blood splatters from his back, and his sword flies out of his hands. At the same time, the girl shouts Sora's name, and he attacks the monster in a jump, but receives a strong blow and falls to the ground. He shields the man from the monster's attack. In addition, the guy declared that the enemy's life would end here, while the huge beast growls and approaches the group. The man reports that something is moving ahead in the forest. Moreover, Sora reports his escape, and the man asks to call a medic. The man reports that they fought off the tiger wolf and have one wounded person requiring immediate help. In the end, Sora says that they managed to fight it off and that's good, and the girls call Sora. He warns of possible danger, after which Sora reports that the wounds are deep and announces that, to be continued. The girl shouts his name and runs to him, and then friends report that they rush to the wounded Sora. When Sora lies unconscious on the ground, the man informs of his condition and asks the reason. The potion quickly approaches and begins assistance, explaining the need for treatment. The girl orders him to stand. He insists on refusing. Then the man asks the girls to step back, explaining that they have a priest capable of using holy magic. He asks to save the wounded. The priest assured that he would do everything possible. Sora created a protective dome to keep everyone safe. Following this, the guy asks how he is and if the girl can heal him. The girl replies that she doesn't know, but there's still a chance. Sora coughs. Meanwhile, he lies with a deep wound on his stomach, and the man with the book reports that treatment is useless. There are no speech bubbles in the image. Sora reports that a fluffy creature slowly approaches and stops on a person's shoulder. And then he studies the book, simultaneously examining the wounded man lying on the ground. Sora makes a poke sound, touching the creature on his chest. At the same time, he says, observing what is happening, and the man reads a book and causes a glow above the lying Sora. Sora says that the man's wound is healing, and the girl is surprised and bewildered. In addition, the man reports his glow, and the girl admits that she is seeing this for the first time and doesn't understand what is happening. Sora asks him to stop. Moreover, it is reported that the bleeding has stopped and the victim's breathing has stabilized. Another man assures that he will be fine. The man with the hammer and others shout yes in response to the good news. The man explains to Sora that now he can do whatever he wants. The girl with the child cries, hugging. One man suggests carrying the injured person to the wagon and setting off. The second man says to jump in. The girl states that she will watch until everyone is ready, in case monsters appear. In the end, the girl says not to let this affect Sora. The man claims that the girl is not to blame, after which Safin reports that she is fine and thanks her interlocutor. Chris declares her intention to become stronger to protect her loved ones, and vows not to cause them suffering. When Sora says that he will live, and he will be fine, he is merely unconscious. Soon Rurika speaks to Chris. Then the girl suggests the guy take a break so he can rest, and another girl calms him. Sora says she's not tired, claps her hands, and pokes the girl's nose. Following this, he claims that the girl would have dodged such a thing before and constantly uses her detection skill. The girl laughs. Rurika reminds Chris of the significance of their relationship, and Chris thanks her for it. Meanwhile, on stage, a fluffy, rabbit-like creature makes sounds, but there is no speech in the bubbles. The man noticed glowing particles near him, and then Sora suddenly appears in front of the glowing object. The girl says she came to help. At the same time, the girl says that the spirit, which always hovers around Sora, wants to chat. Sora says that he is from the capital, knows nothing about traveling, but can fight monsters. The girl recounts that this is exactly what she thought when she first met Sora. In addition, he recounts that Grandma Morrigan said that spirits don't follow people without a reason, and a spirit was following him. The girl says that the spirit liked Sora, and she wants to get to know him better. Moreover, he states the chapter title and contract topic, and also expresses a desire for attention. Sora admitted that he doesn't know how to draw, but wants to try. In the end, the girl looks at the smoke in the distance, and the flying creature makes a sound. Sora apologized for the frightening words, after which the girl declares that she is not an enemy and everything is fine. The girl advises not to ask, and the creature admits that it approached her to ask a question. When the girl says she is going to chat, using her little friend as an intermediary, the girl is sure that older sister Eris is capable of having a normal conversation. Then the girl admits that she has secrets she couldn't tell Sora, and apologizes for her oversight earlier. The cloud understands the interlocutor's feelings. The man is a cute spirit. Soon the woman reports that Sora was scared for someone and tried to help when he got injured. He claims that someone gave all their strength. Meanwhile, the girl decided to talk to him after seeing him like that. Sora says he can tell why he follows someone if the interlocutor doesn't mind. And then the guy reports the appearance of fireworks in the sky. The girl says that now she understands. At the same time, Sora says that he was the first to notice the hero after his loneliness and always gave him tasty treats. He claims that he is a duck, showing bacon, and the cloud says that he even gives away his favorite bacon and calls him funny. In addition, the girl believes that the man only thinks about food. Sora lies on the ground, and the cloud reports that he will not be able to connect his thoughts. Moreover, he thanks the cute spirit for the story and explains that he knows a way to convey his feelings. The girl says that she cannot be with him forever, and the man in the cloud reports that she still wants to know the method and nods. In the end, Sora says that he needs to convey his intention to the person, and asks if he minds in that case. Then Sora says, "Ha!" The man suggests making a contract, after which the man reports that it's still difficult now, but he will help a little. The girl agrees. When the girl says thank you, the man reports that the gates are closed. Sora explains that they are setting off. The man talks about the caravan moving along the road. Then he says that they cannot afford to lose time and must immediately begin preparations for the next stage. Sora blinked. Following this, he lies on the floor under a blanket. The girl with pigtails asks where he is, and another girl reports this with surprise. The girl and the girl simultaneously say that they don't understand why them specifically. Meanwhile, Sora says he gives up, and the girl calls him to sleep, laughing. The guy shouts that he is happy. He reports that the tiger wolf has been driven away, and asks about the others. The girls are happy and call Sora. And then Sora holds a bowl of liquid, and the girl says that everything is fine thanks to him. The man gently places his hand on Sora's shoulder. The girl is glad that he is okay. At the same time, Sora thanks them and says that it's pleasant, like a breath of fresh air, and two girls report that he made everyone worry. He apologizes for the concern and reports that everything is fine now. In addition, Sora says that he needs to return to the quest, despite dizziness and fatigue, and his status shows low health. He reports that his health is almost at 0, and he feels tired, although his stamina recovers quickly. Moreover, Chris notices Sora's pallor and advises him to rest. Sora thanks her and agrees. He says that he has a sour taste in his mouth. The girl explains that the potion was of poor quality. In the end, 6 days have passed since they left Alka, and the horse-drawn carriages are moving slowly. Sora sped up to leave the place, now slowing down so as not to tire the horses. After which he reports that he changed into ragged clothes. The priest thanks Sora for saving him, and he replies that he is glad the priest is all right. He asks the man to walk a little, and he agrees. Sora reports that they have arrived in the merchant city of Phesis. When the man says that the city looks like an ordinary settlement, but with unusual architecture. The man says that the city of Phesis is an important trade center of the kingdom of Alicia. Then Sora recounts that near Phesis is the city of Alessa, famous for its mines where minerals and crystals can be found everywhere. The girl invites Sora to look at beautiful crystal necklaces, and the man adds that it's a local pride. Sora agrees with them. He notes that all the inhabitants are muscular. The man reports that they have arrived in Phesis. The escort quest is complete. On the way, they were attacked by wolves, but everyone handled it perfectly. Following this, the guy reports that after receiving confirmation of the quest's completion, the matter will be considered finished. The man tells Sora that he did a good job and thanks him. Sora replies with gratitude, but begins to explain. Meanwhile, he admits his failure, creating problems for everyone, and the man asks what's wrong. The man notes the hero's heroism and expresses gratitude for protecting them from the tiger wolf. Sora offers a gift as a token of appreciation. And then he says that he wants to say something, but cannot finish the phrase, and then falls silent. Sora thanks, clutching a piece of paper. At the same time, the man reports that he and the girls did well, and mentions the quest certificate. Sora agrees to collect the reward and go with them, and the man plans to report the tiger wolf incident to the guild. In addition, he says that he has fully recovered and thanks them for their help, and the man reports that today he can rest at the inn, and the guild can wait. The man suggests wandering around the city and meeting later. Moreover, Sora says that he is leaving. The girl asks if he is leaving. The woman reports that it is already tomorrow. The girl reports that they wanted to say something, and another girl explains that they are still too weak and decided to train before leaving. In the end, Sora expressed a desire to train Seifen tomorrow. The girl suggested joining. The man assured that they would become stronger and are ready to put in the effort. The guy stated that he is already able to walk by himself. There are no speech bubbles in the image, a tavern in the merchant city of Phesis. After which Sora says that the tavern resembles Ali's inn and is a simple room. He notes that the distance from the royal capital to Phesis is significant, and assumes that his status might have increased. He announces a status increase and explains that the required experience for the next level constantly increases, which slows down the process. He notes that he mainly traveled by carriage, which was natural. When Sora is silent, he claims that the tiger wolf was dangerous, recommends avoiding going out alone, and only using safe roads. Dangerous places are best traversed by carriage. He also talks about the need to strengthen his powers to continue alone. Then Sora reported that he hadn't appeared at all lately. He expressed a desire to be able to contact them independently and warned that he might return. Following this, Sora recounts that they met in front of the tavern and headed together to the Adventurers Guild. The girl says that Goblin's Bane is really cool. The man notes the impressive coordination and defense of the parties, while the girl emphasizes that observing it is better than hearing about it. Meanwhile, the girl notes the guy with the shield, standing at the forefront and skillfully using heavy weapons. Sora asks if he can train with her today, but he might be busy. And then he says that he wants to train with him, and the man replies that she has already said that 30 times. The merchant city of Phesis and the Adventurers Guild. At the same time, Sora notes that the city is not as big as the capital, but there are many people here, while the man warns the group of their presence. The man notes a good job yesterday, and the girl says that everyone came. In addition, Sora reports that he heard about a group gathering for the tiger wolf, and the man asks if it is really a group. He explains that they had a caravan with them that time, so they left as soon as possible. But this road is an important trade route, and it caused a commotion among travelers and merchants. The guy says he understood. Moreover, the man reports that they were directly asked to participate in the search party and says that they are in. Sora notices that his request has been heard and asks about the departure date. The man replies that the plan is for 10 days and details need to be discussed. In the end, the girl says that tomorrow she can ask them to train together. The man approves Sora's offer to have a few sparring sessions, after which he loudly shouts a battle cry at a training session in the Phesis Adventurers Guild. Sora explains that he deflects the opponent's attack with crossed swords. When he attacks the man with a large knife, the man parries the blow with his weapon. Sora claims that he is strong, and confirms this with the word, "well, yes." Then the man tells Sora that he needs more feints and to leave honesty out of combat, otherwise he will never hit him, and then reports that he was wrong about Sora and is impressed by his evasion of the tiger wolf. Sora deflects attacks from several opponents, using a shield and swords. Following this, she is tired and quickly runs towards the man with the sword. The guy believes that agility is important, and the girl claims that speed will help defeat enemies. Meanwhile, Sora notes that the girl's attacks are not strong enough to defeat armed men or large monsters he has encountered. The girl advises maintaining speed in combat and building stamina to increase strength. And then Sora says that he didn't have a single chance, asks how Yuno managed. The girl replies that Yuno is incredible. The man sighs. He says, "Look how people live, giving it their all." At the same time, Sora understands why the advice was detailed, and the guy asks about the plans. He planned to take a quest for gathering medicinal herbs, and the girl suggested going with Rurika, saying it sounds great. In addition, the girl says that she will train a little more. Sora quacks, the girl suggests going together. Moreover, he says don't mess around, and the girl repeats this phrase in surprise. Sora notices the girl by the wall and pays attention to her. In the end, the girl says she can't wait any longer and must act now. Sora called Rurika, after which he recounts that he and Chris went into the forest and gathered many herbs, and then gathered a little more for making potions. Sora reports that they listened to Chris's stories and played with animals. When he recounts that he couldn't get Rurika's facial expression out of his head after the goal, Sora claims that he uses storage magic. The girl expresses surprise. Sora says it's an exaggeration, and the girl agrees. Then he says that Rurika behaved strangely today, and the girl asks if he noticed it. The girl says that she has a strong sense of responsibility, and she thinks that she is still bothered by the fact that Sora was wounded in the fight with the tiger wolf. Following this, He claims that it's not her fault and explains that he is weak. Sora said that he would buy something delicious when they return, and the girl agreed. Meanwhile, he reports that they gathered a lot. The girl adds that they bought Rurika's favorite dish, pomomo. The man invites them to come again. The girl invites Sora to dinner in their room, and Sora thanks her. And then he reports that Rurika is surely very hungry after training, and is confident that she will be happy with the feast. Then he says that they are back. Rurika replies, "Ha!" Sora asks if she has returned yet. At the same time, the girl says that it's just not worth saying. Sora said that she went to check something, asking to wait, and the girl asked why she was still at the training ground. In addition, he runs down a deserted street with a lantern in his hand. Sora reports the word guild, exits the dungeon, and heads towards the guild building. Moreover, he says that he is ready, and the girl confirms that she is also ready, breathing heavily. The girl calls Rurika's name. The guy shouts it. In the end, Sora orders them to go home, and the girl says she will train a little more. The girl gasps and pronounces, after which Sora called Rurika's name, noticing that she was stumbling. He laughs and thanks the girl, who is kneeling. When Sora said that the girl is going to rest, the girl agreed. He suggests giving up, saying that otherwise they face death. She refuses and insists on fighting to the end. Then Sora asked the girl what was wrong. Noticing her anxiety and reckless behavior, he apologizes. Following this, Sora says that the girl blames herself for showing weakness, and the girl reports that it's not her fault. He says that he was willing to risk himself when he decided to become an adventurer, and that it is his own responsibility. The girl remains silent. Meanwhile, Sora asks the girl why she is afraid. The girl replies that she doesn't feel strong enough to think about the future. The girl says that when they leave the city, she will again have to protect someone alone. Only her and Chris. And then the girl says that the thought of such an important person being harmed because of her weakness scares her. Sora thanks the girl for her concern and says that she is a kind person. At the same time, he says that he understands the concern for Chris, but after traveling with the two of them, he believes that Chris is strong on her own. Sora says that he understood a lot in a short time with them and is sure that the girl also understands this. The girl replies that at least for her, he looks like someone who needs to be protected. In addition, the girl says that she understands, and he remains silent. Sora claims that she is always frank, insightful, and cares for him, not letting him bear all the responsibility alone. Moreover, the girl talks about her importance to him, explaining why she doesn't want to see him hurt, while the man merely reports sadness. Sora says that her haste and efforts show how important Chris is to her, and explains that she doesn't have to take everything on her shoulders, as she is strong. In the end, the girl claims that mutual trust will help them both win. Girl. Chris is preparing a feast. Let's hurry. Woman. Welcome back. Sora. We're back. After which he and the girl simultaneously pronounce the word, boy. The girl called it an artistic design. Sora clarified that it was a party she put effort into. Chris noted that the decoration was ingenious. When the girl asks how it balances at all and how it works at all and then laughs, Sora asks Rurika to stop and confesses his love. Rurika thanks Pomomo, who says that Sora likes meat, according to Chris. Then he says that they ate their fill. The girl replies, heh, and the man asks if he is averting his gaze. Sora asks when they are going to set off. Rurika says they thought it was time. Following this, he reported that the price of potions would likely increase significantly when Safin's Tiger Wolf search party went out. Therefore, they decided to stock up on potions and canned food while they had the chance. Sora reports that there is something important to tell, and causes confusion in the girl. Then he ponders the next words. Meanwhile, he reports that he learned alchemy, and two girls are surprised by this word. Rurika says that Sora knows how to make liquid gold, and another girl reports that Sora is mastering many new skills. And then he says that it's not exactly gold. Unfortunately, the girl asks Rurika why her eyes look like money, and Rurika laughs and says she's joking. Sora shows the gathered herbs and offers them to look. At the same time, he takes a handful of something in his hands. The girl reports on the bottle the man is holding. In addition, the girl exclaimed, "The man is indignant." Moreover, Sora reports that in experiments with alchemy, he found that a lack or excess of ingredients leads to failure, but sometimes he manages to save mana and ingredients. He claims that this is the first potion with the inscription medium. According to him, as the alchemy skill grows, the quality of potions improves, and a higher level leads to higher quality products. In the end, Sora states that he cannot get a better potion than this. One girl thinks alchemy is cool, and the other says that the potion turned out amazing. After which Sora notes that his appraisal indicates the potion is of medium quality. The girl claims that this potion is of good quality. The girl says that good quality potions have a deeper color and adds that they are a little darker than usually sold. When Sora says that if normal is appraised like this, then he can get more when he gets better at alchemy, the girl reports that he could sell them at a high price, and Sora explains that since they talked about it, maybe that's the case. He says that's all. The girl envies alchemy. Then the man pours many bottles from a bag. The girl and Sora are surprised. Following this, he asks if this will be enough for further travel. Sora offers to accept this as a gift for help. The girl asks what enough means. Meanwhile, he claims that they are handmade items, but the girl insists that they are not suitable. Soon Sora speaks, and the girl replies that they didn't mean that, and the second girl says, "Oh no," and then he understood and thought. The girl reports that they cannot accept something so valuable, but this gesture makes her very happy. Sora claims that he knows and reports. At the same time, he addresses the two girls with a request and offers potions as compensation. Sora asks and the girl asks about what. In addition, he claims that the man suggested going to the mines. Moreover, Sora says that he needs one crystal, as he has long been interested in mines. The girl and woman ask why go to the mines. He reports the appearance of monsters in the mines and claims that one should only enter with a group due to weak Alessa. In the end, Sora suggests trying to get the crystal himself and offers to go together. The man replies that he initially thought of buying a crystal at the store, but changed his mind. He thanks them for their help. The girls are waiting for monster training. The woman says that the road to Alessa takes 3 days and suggests clearing the trading room if they don't linger. After which Sora reports that the caravan merchants have already booked rooms for them. The girl suggests clearing at least one room. He stated that if there are no free rooms, he could share a bed with Chris. When Sora says that the girl is just teasing him, always smirking and giggling, he asks her not to show that he understands her vulgar jokes. He claims that he is an adult, but asks her to remain calm. Then Sora says that he doesn't mind Chris's company. He notices changes in her, and she notes his growth. Following this, the girl says that she is in bed with Sora. Sora says that he is worried. Soon he is silent, looking forward. Meanwhile, he says that it was just a joke. The girl laughs. Sora reports that he could not defeat Rurika. And then he reports that after leaving Phesis, the first thing they did was reach the mining town of Alessa. Sora notes that it's time to rest. At the same time, he reports that they have arrived in the mining town of Alessa. Sora notes many mines and the girl points to the steps. In addition, he recounts that Alessa is a city that grows right out of the mountain, and there are not many people here with tools for mining. The girl says it's late, and the man suggests going to look for a tavern. Moreover, Sora notices cute girls. The man says that usually only dirty men are found here, and calls them a rarity. The girls and Sora are surprised. The man offers an inn. The girl wants to play with the children. He replies negatively. In the end, Sora notes that lately, not much has been happening here, and most of the rooms are empty, and business is difficult. The woman offers them to stay with her and will give a discount, since they are such darlings. 3 characters are surprised. He thanks Mr. The girl confirms. The man explains that now try saying Miss and asks if they are adventurers. He apologizes, calling him Mississippi, after which Sora asks his interlocutor about the reasons for his presence here, and the man replies that the number of minerals found has decreased, but he considers it a good experience. The man invites them to come to him tomorrow and reports that he is the mine chief. When Sora asks what kind of inn it is, the girl replies, "Okay." Then Sora reports that they stayed at the inn for the night. The man greets and invites them to go to the chief. Then Sora reports that they went to the mine. The girl asks Sora why he is smirking, and he silently smiles. Following this, Sora says that he assumed they would part ways after reaching Phesis. The girl says that they are embarking on an adventure as a trio again. Meanwhile, Sora asserts that everything is fine, and asks her to pay attention to him, and the girl replies something indistinct. He admitted that it's his first time in the mine, he got a little lost, the ground is rough, his legs hurt. And then Sora reports that the soles of his boots are completely worn out, and the girl offers to show his shoes. He explains that he doesn't get tired while walking and didn't notice it. Shoes are an important piece of adventurers' equipment that needs to be taken care of. He says he will repair them when they return. At the same time, Sora notes many tunnels, and the girl admires them. He points to the numbers and asks which one they should take. In addition, Sora notes a long separation from the creature, surprising the girl who is intently watching the scene. He sees the creature reaching out to him. Moreover, Sora claims that there is something there. He orders Chris and Rurika to come closer. Chris agrees. In the end, Sora says that there are lamps here, but it's still dark, and asks if they are okay, explaining that the light from the entrance doesn't reach here at all. The girl states that they have been adventurers for 3 years and will manage without problems. After that, he and other characters react to a loud scream, after which Sora speaks to Rurika, and Rurika asks about Rurika. The man reports that slime fell on the girl's chest, after which her chest begins to shake. When Sora says that he doesn't understand what is happening, the girl reports a strange creature that is laughing. The man reports that the creature changes shape and falls. Then Sora called the slime a prankster and added that it can change size, prank people in mines, and leave bite marks that never disappear. He asks Rurika if she is okay and if anyone bit her. Rurika reports that she is fine and wasn't bitten. The girl says she is always ready, and he asks if they are ready. Following this, Sora offers to demonstrate their strongest combination. He says that their first battle in the mines against a slime is about to begin. Meanwhile, Sora orders an attack and begins to hit the slimes, which fire small projectiles. He says that first they need to focus on her and then reports that second and then the girl says she will confuse him with wind magic. The girl says that later, Sora screams and attacks the creature with a sword. The man observes what is happening, and 3 characters run into the cave. At the same time, he says that they are ready for the upcoming challenge, and the girl next to him reports that everything will be fine. Sora notices the intensified attacks and asks about the result of the training with Goblin's Bane. The girl notes Sora's decreased indecisiveness with the sword. In addition, he says that it's time to start. The girl with the staff laughs. Sora asserts that they are moving correctly. Moreover, the girl asks Sora how much further they have to go, and he reports that the passage is getting narrower and the sounds of miners digging have disappeared. Sora asserts that it's true, and continues the conversation. The girl asks him to wait. In the end, he says that there's not much left, addressing Rurika. Rurika asks if it's not fun. The girl agrees if Sora and Chris ask. After which he thanks them. The girl notes a good experience, and the woman confirms with an sound. Sora stands by the cave wall and looks forward. He hears approaching footsteps, when he says that it's just a rock in front of him, after which he receives an appraisal. Sora is silent, pondering. Then he reports that he used appraisal several times since entering the mine, but without success, and wonders if he has reached the bottom of the mine or if his appraisal level is too low. Sora drew the girl's attention. Following this, he reports that there's a dead end ahead, and asks if there's anything there. Sora points to a glow on the wall and utters the word, appraisal. Meanwhile, he asks what this phenomenon is. Sora reminds them of the work, and the girl with short hair agrees and points to the place where they are digging. And then he, the girl, and the man together break down the stone wall to get through it. Sora exclaims. Sora and the girl report that something fell out. At the same time, he says that they know little about ores, but this thing is red and beautiful and asks what this ore is. The man reports that it is a magic stone. Sora said that she would dig further to find more, and two girls announced that they would also help. In addition, he asks if it's true, and the girl replies that she can't believe they found so much. Sora reports that they extracted magic and crystal stones, and recounts that he found magic crystals, which were the only thing he wanted. Moreover, he claims that with such a volume of extraction, he will be able to acquire everything he needs with the money from their sale and should thank him for taking him this far. Sora says that someone left early, and the girl asks where he is. In the end, he warns of the danger of the situation. The girl with long hair proposes her plan. The girl with short hair is ready to support them. Sora offered bacon lunch before returning, after which the girl states that she cannot afford to be weak. Sora says that lunch in the mines is a novelty. The three of them are in an enclosed space where voices echo. When he recounts that it was an unusual experience, but very fun, Sora thanks them for the food. Then he says, "Okay," and the girl suggests returning. Sora considers the stones light and asks if they weigh more than him. The girl replies that they might be rare stones. Following this, he claims that the lighting in the Alessa mines is getting brighter. Sora reports that they have returned to the surface, and Rika rejoices. Meanwhile, the woman reports that the children returned quickly. He replies that they have already returned. Sora claims that it's enough, and Mia laughs and says that they didn't carry anymore. And then the man asks what is happening there. The man notices that they know little about minerals, and Sora assumes that it is or... At the same time, the man says that he should have studied these things beforehand, jokes about young butts, and reports that he will appraise them for them. The man claims that he doesn't believe what is happening and considers it impossible. In addition, the man talks about a crystal that shimmers with 7 colors, and about magical crystals with a deep crimson color. Sora notes the amazingness of the crystals, and the girl remembers the magical crystals from the jewelry store in the royal capital. Moreover, the man asks where the guys got these valuable things. The girl replies that there are many of them. Sora said that it was difficult, and the man stated that, in his opinion, it was path number 6. In the end, he reported that he told him the location of the expensive crystals. Sora says that the 6th branch is not yet exhausted, which seems strange. After which the man says that there will be a reward for the crystal stone and asks for contact information. The woman notices that Sora is not such a boy. Sora clarifies that it's not him, but a spirit. The woman thanks him, but refuses to accept it. Sora notes that the 3 of them found them. When the man says that they are adventurers, and shows contact information on guild cards, the girl and the guy merely note that it's cute. The man explains that he simply tripled the reward and that he doesn't care. Sora reports that after confirmation, he will send the money to the guild and suggests moving on. Then he says he is ready for the challenge. The man fastens a basket to Sora's back, and 2 girls watch what is happening. Sora speaks. The man is silent, trying to do something with the basket. Following this, the man declares his intention to sell everything, to which the woman asks if he will really do it. Soon Sora says that he plans to buy the necessary minerals, and the man asks what and how much he needs and offers to tell him. Meanwhile, he expresses a desire to keep the magical crystals and ore for himself, to which the man replies that everything is convenient in his office. The man offered to take the unnecessary stones, give the necessary ones, and add 10 gold. The girl explained that it was a good offer. Sora is silent, reacting with surprise. And then he says, "If so, then." Sora reports accepting the deal, and the group travels to Phesis, where they stop for the night in Alessa. At the same time, he reports that they didn't even have to pay for accommodation, and the girl notes that the landlady is so kind. Sora asserts that everything is fine and even easier, and the girl warns of rain. In addition, he says that he doesn't understand how it can rain if it's sunny. The girl reports that Chris's predictions are surprisingly accurate and that rain in Elegia comes very suddenly. Sora says that there's not much left to Phesis, suggests running. The girl agrees and calls him to run together. Sora says that he hasn't seen rain for a long time since he came to this world. He explains that he doesn't like running, even if he walks well. In the end, Sora notices something. Moreover, he says that the clouds appeared unexpectedly, and the girl reports that he is too slow. The man reports the sounds of dripping water. In the end, by the time they reached Phesis, they were soaked through. He reports that their venture with crystal mining has come to an end, and the girl says that they have collected everything they needed. After which Sora reports that the action takes place in the merchant city of Phesis under pouring rain. The man reported that the rain, which started on the way from Alessa, continued for 3 days. When Sora thanks the woman for the new sheets, she explains that there is a heavy downpour outside. The woman offered them to stay in a single room with 2 girls. He refused. Then Sora asks if such downpours are frequent here. The woman agrees that it's strange. He ordered the storm shutters closed. She noticed that it was unsettling. Following this, Sora says that the rainbow is beautiful, and all 3 admire it. He didn't go out because of the downpour, and she says that the fresh air is pleasant. Meanwhile, Sora and the girl agree to buy provisions. The girl wishes him luck in gathering herbs and says goodbye. He says that he is setting off and is ready for the challenges. And then Sora says that it's time to move on and starts moving with his backpack. He says that his companion is here and addresses him. At the same time, Sora says that lately he hasn't been reacting very well. He uses storage magic and releases a magical creature from his hand. In addition, Sora claims that he was here, and the flying creature makes chomping sounds. He told Rurika and Chris that he was going to gather herbs, but he actually wanted to express gratitude. Moreover, Sora thanks them for leading him to the crystals and reports that today there will be kebab from his favorite wolf. He says that the meat is roasting. In the end, Sora extends a fork. He also plans to have a snack by the bonfire. After which Sora notes that the meat is juicy and goes well with Phesis' signature sausages, and the spices elevate the meat's umami to a new level. He says that he bought vegetables in the morning. They are very fresh. When Sora says that they will just chop them up somehow and then fry them, she also adds that the dish is very delicious. He claims that he is just cooking, but in the fresh air, the food acquires a special taste. Then Sora says that he eats a lot for his small size, and the man reports that they ate so much. The girl asks to draw up a contract. Following this, Sora says something, accompanied by a sound coming from the small creature next to him. He addresses the small creature and speaks words. Meanwhile, Sora asks his companion what happened and if he wants to sleep. He observes the flying creature making sounds. And then on stage, a cloud with ears appears, twitching and shaking, but no one speaks. Sora called her companion a glutton. At the same time, he states, Sora asks why the rabbit isn't eating. In addition, the little animal leaves. He suggests trying vegetables if he's tired of meat. Sora asks about bacon. The man asks him to wait until the spirit's thoughts reach Sora. Moreover, he reports that these are the final preparations before the date. Sora informs the girls about a gift. The girls listen attentively. In the end, he says, heh, and the girl reports that they have finished packing. Sora says that tomorrow they will part ways. The girl reports that all that's left is to buy food, and they can set off. After which he says that he will go shopping with them and help with the luggage, and the woman reports that it's a special case. The girl reports that she is glad to see the other girl safe and thanks her for her help. When Sora told Rurika that they needed a new small pot, he replied that first they needed to buy provisions. Sora agreed if it wasn't too expensive. He believes that a small pot is convenient. The girl notes that it is light and easy to use. The woman suddenly screams. Then the girl reports that today there is a special seminar at the guild with a limit of 20 people and they need to come early. She says that the lecture will last until night and she won't be able to go with them. Sora listens. He asks Chris and the girl if they can leave the shopping to them. Chris agrees and the girl confirms. Following this, the girl says that she has an important message. Sora says that he doesn't exist today and asks if that's clear. The girl reports that since the seminar will be long. Then, meanwhile, he says there's no rush. The girl reports that they can enjoy the date. Sora says goodbye. The girl warns him not to stay indoors. And then he and the girl simultaneously pronounce the word date, after which silence falls between them. Sora said that they needed to buy food first, and the girl agreed. The man warned Sora that the shop wasn't there and called him back. At the same time, he says that the rations bring back memories. The girl reports that there's enough dried meat, and the man asks what else, potatoes. Sora says that's enough, and the girl adds that she bought a pot. The saleswoman invites them to come again. In addition, he says that he doesn't know where to go now, and the girl is silent. Sora speaks to Chris, and Chris replies. After that, both are silent. Moreover, the girl claims that if he insists, then They argue about who chooses first, and he states that they go where the other wants. The girl expressed a desire to buy clothes. In the end, Sora says that he is glad to see the girl in the clothing store. The man announces welcome to the store. The man in the hat asks the girl if they want to try on clothes. After which the girl says that the swimsuit will suit him, and Sora notes that it suits him. He reports on the date and suggests putting on the chosen outfit. The girl is surprised, and another says that her option is better. When Sora expresses irritation, he and the girl run down the street. Sora says something to which the girl replies. As they walk through the city center, Sora calls the girl cute, but she remains silent. He quickly repairs his shoes and advises taking a spare pair. The woman reports that he wore out his shoes. The man asks the girl if she likes to walk. Soon he says, "Well, what do you know?" next to a sign shoe repair shop. Then Sora says that he likes to walk and is going to take a spare item, and the woman asks if they are travelers, to which the guy and girl reply that it's something like that. The woman mentions that she and her husband also traveled and these are the best memories. She wishes them a good journey. Following this, Sora asks when they are leaving. The woman says that today is the last chance to see Pheasis's main street illuminated with crystals. The girl clarifies that this will happen tomorrow. Meanwhile, Sora talks about the mineral festival, which takes place once a year, and mentions a secluded spot where they can hide from the crowd. He didn't know about the festival, and the girl suggests telling Rurika about it. And then Sora says that it's a date, and the girl warns that whatever happens. He suggests going to look for the quiet place the landlady mentioned, and she agrees. At the same time, Sora reports that crystals are hanging all over the street, and the girl is interested if they will glow at night. He asks how she feels. The girl replies that she is hurt and thanks him. In addition, Sora says that the crowd is already growing and that it's getting late. He reports to the girl that stones are falling from the roof. Moreover, Sora declares that he will not allow anyone to go ahead of him. He declares that he will not allow her to go further, and takes responsibility for her safety. In the end, the girl is silent, and Sora looks forward and does not speak. He wants to talk to the guy and unexpectedly grabs his sleeve. The guy is surprised, after which Sora says that he wants to say something important, and the girl reports that she is listening attentively. The man declared that the world would wait until their relationship progressed to a new level. When Sora says that he wonders where these two are going, he recounts that the shop owner said to look for a large boulder, and the girl points to it. Then Sora expressed his admiration. He claims that even on the busiest street he doesn't hear it. Following this, Sora says that he hears the rustling of leaves and the beating of his heart, and thinks that Chris might hear it too. He claims that this is their last chance and they need to act wisely. She confirms her readiness to cooperate. Meanwhile, Sora says that they are alone on top of the hill and he cannot find the words. He is silent, looking forward with the girl. And then Sora says that he is not the most open person. The girl admits that she always suppresses her emotions. At the same time, Sora admits a lack of confidence, and the girl fears that their sincere feelings will be rejected. The girl says that people consider her shy due to unclear speech, and her clumsiness exacerbates it. She admits that she always relied on Rurika. The girl remembers that when they first formed the group. In addition, Sora asks the girl if it's true, and receives an affirmative answer. The girl was happy to travel, but was afraid that he would consider her a burden instead of understanding. Moreover, the girl says that she withdrew into herself. The man is silent, gripping the hilt of his sword. Sora claims that he was always kind to the girl and treated her as an equal. The girl says that to stop mushroom incest, one must say, "Don't argue with your mother." In the end, he says that he didn't expect to see the girl here. The girl notes that thanks to an honest person like Sora, she gradually stopped worrying and was surprised to discover how many emotions she could express. After which the girl tells Sora that he helped her grow up and thanks him. Sora says that Chris has always been kind and beautiful. Chris asks what Sora is talking about. When the girl says that this is exactly what she is talking about, and laughs, Sora admits that he hides some things from the girl. Then he says that she also has secrets. Sora claims that he has more, and the girl claims she has more. After this, Sora laughs. Following this, he says that they are competing to see who has the biggest secret, and the girl confirms this. Sora noticed that the moon is especially beautiful tonight. The girl reads a book so as not to be bored. Meanwhile, he claims that the truth is, Sora expressed a desire to continue traveling, cooking, eating, and fighting together. The girl confirmed that they both won. And then he says that Sora declares that he is being watched. At the same time, he says that he doesn't yet know who is behind this, but he is sure that nothing good will come of it if he stays with them. Sora asks to be allowed to go on the next journey. In addition, he says, "Take care," sitting next to the girl. Sora admits that he won't be able to catch up with them, but will pray for their reunion with their childhood friends. Moreover, he lies, claiming that he knows, and points to a possible other reason for refusing to go with them. The girl claims that it is a kind lie to protect them. In the end, the girl refuses to invite him on a dangerous journey, considering it selfish. Sora reports that he will accept his lie, after which he promises to start searching as well, and the girl expresses gratitude. The girl wished him a good journey, to which the man replied that it would be better for both of them. When Sora says that the sparkling sight they saw that day will remain in their hearts. The morning after the festival dawned. Then the man reports that normal life has resumed in Phesis, and the events of last night seem almost surreal. The girl says that when parting ways. Following this, the man asks Rurika if she is ready, and she confirms that everything is ready. The girl says that she almost forgot the guild map, and another girl notes that it's the worst thing to forget. Meanwhile, Sora says good morning and asks if he can come in, knocking on the door behind which are two girls. He greeted the girls and reported that he was leaving by carriage around noon. One of the girls confirmed that this was planned. And then Sora says that today they are saying goodbye in his opinion, and the girl reports that he declares that he has a gift for her, and she is surprised, trying to understand what it is. At the same time, Sora says that the one he is addressing seems so interested in magic, and she tried to gather everything she knows. He admits that he says too much every time he tries to explain something directly, and thanks Chris. Chris replies that she is very happy. In addition, Sora notes that it was a lot of work. Chris worked on it almost every day when they had free time. The woman is silent, and the man tries to stop her. He thanks Chris. Moreover, Sora says that he also has something. The girl and the woman look at the ring in the man's hand. He tells them about it. In the end, one girl asks what it is, and the other replies that it is beautiful. Sora used crystals from Alessa to create this with his alchemy skill. After which he explains that there are two connected things, and if mana is poured into one of them, it will show the direction of the other. The man reports that he will take the second one. The girl with long hair claims that she can determine the direction in which the other girl is. She explains that if she sends mana through it. When Sora says that he can use this as a guide to find where their friends are, but only 5 times. The guy transmits information to Geralt in Rivia, and the girl says that the guild doesn't have a branch in this city, and establishing contact will take a long time. Then one girl says that she has never seen anything like it before, and the other is surprised by the possibilities of alchemy. The girl notices that the message service in the guild is expensive, and finds it inconvenient. She is sure that once they find Sora and Eris, they will meet again. Following this, Sora asserts that the girl with long hair is right, and that it's better if she keeps it. The girl with short hair warns that they need to make sure the little one doesn't get lost. He explains the alchemy process, demonstrating a chain made of iron or... Meanwhile, the girl tells Sora to put something on Chris. Sora explains that he knows how to do it, and hopes not to embarrass them. And Chris reports that with this, he won't get lost. He says, then, and the girl asks him to forgive her. And then Sora says that he is glad that the girl is next to him. He noted that the ornament on the girl is beautiful and suits her. At the same time, Sora asks for a carriage to the Beast Kingdom. He, the girl, and the woman walk along the village street. He talks about the upcoming journey and explains that mountains await them ahead. In addition, Sora says that he is glad to meet them and is ready to help. The girl reports that they have arrived with an important mission, and another girl explains the mission details. The girl with pigtails says Chris, and the girl with short hair reports Rurika. Moreover, Sora thanks them. He said that if he had been alone, he wouldn't have been able to carry out the errands. In the end, Sora says that thanks to them he traveled far, saw many things, and experienced a lot. He expressed joy at the acquaintance. After which the girl reports that thanks to the hero's curiosity, she gained new experience, and together with another girl, she thanks him. Sora and the girl discuss the importance of taking care of themselves. When they meet next time, the guy says he will be even stronger. Sora and the girls agree to go on adventures together and participate. Then he said that they would definitely meet again. Sora reports that in the kingdom of Alicia, inside the royal castle, at approximately the same time that Sora's group split up. Following this, the man reports the report is ready and reminds his interlocutor of his lateness, urging him to hurry. The guy promises the king to start the report and apologizes for the delay. The king asks to hand over the scroll. The guy sighs. Meanwhile, the combat abilities of the three reached their goal. Sora names the classes Sword King, Paladin, Master Swordsman. The man says that the last ones who were summoned could immediately take a sword and fight. The man claims that the last report made no mention of the saint's weakness and asks what it means that she was the most experienced in the church. And then the man recounted that the saint never missed training, improved her abilities, attracted attention, and became an asset to the church. The man says he doesn't care that the church took her to the Holy Kingdom, but orders to keep an eye on her, to which another man replies, "Of course." At the same time, the king says that the sorcerer king cannot control her powers and will not find a worthy spirit mage to train her, and the girl agrees. The man refuses to accept such reports, and Sora asks for forgiveness. In addition, the man reports that the loser left the capital, and asks if this is really true. The man reports that Fujimiya Sora is traveling with two adventurers. They are being watched with a D level of vigilance. He does not reveal his origin, failed to kill goblins, and almost died from a tiger wolf. He looks like a loser. Moreover, the man talks about the sudden increase in his swordsmanship skills and the ability to carry heavy loads, but at the same time claims that he is a loser. The man says that a loser who experienced an awakening is not uncommon. In the end, Sora orders to attach number 13 behind him and to watch him more carefully. He also orders to kill him if he tries to cross the border, since all summoned ones belong to his kingdom. He says that the night sky is beautiful, after which Sora reports that he fell and is lying on the floor, and two girls laugh together. He apologizes and asks for forgiveness. When Sora turns sharply, she reports her resolute intention. He said that he wants to meet them again and solve problems independently. For this he needs to become stronger. Then Sora reports that he will open his status. He admitted that he woke up the creature and asked for forgiveness. Following this, Sora reports that he used his appraisal skill a lot in the mines and reached level 9. The guy says that he still can't read it, but perhaps now he can read the description page in the quest list and reports that he sees something. Meanwhile, Sora says that he will choose a profession and will not be able to change it until he levels up his walking skill. He asks which profession to choose, claiming that one of them gives more recipes and a quality bonus. And then Sora says that alchemist seems like a good choice and reports that he will try to choose it. He says that this is his first profession in this world, and he will try to do something right away. The man reports that he is surprised to see a pistol in the production list. At the same time, Sora claims that he can make a pistol, not understanding its design and believing that they don't exist in this world. He stated that he would have to defend himself, unsure of success, but willing to try. In addition, Sora explains that it is necessary to combine iron and magic ores, and then pass mana from the magic stone. He says that they will get something, expressing surprise and bewilderment. Moreover, Sora reports that he got something similar to a pistol, but different from a sword. He refuses to shoot here and suggests trying it outside, where there are no people. In the end, Sora puts away the storage magic, hoping he won't need it. He lies on the bed with a flying creature next to him, after which Sora makes a questioning sound, lying next to a plush toy. He expresses surprise or confusion. When Sora hears someone's voice, he asks, "Who's here?" He asks them not to tell him anything. Then Sora says that he doesn't understand what kind of creature this is in front of him. He says that something is melting, and asks what is happening. The man reports that he heard someone's voice and asks where he went. Following this, Sora recounts that the day after parting with Rurika and Chris, he ordered a carriage back to the capital, but all carriages were booked, and he was only able to book one departing in 5 days. He says that he doesn't know what to do these 5 days, and the girl behind the counter reports that they have a quota for gathering herbs. Meanwhile, Sora suggested engaging in herb gathering. Soon she reported that he claims that he can use it for alchemy as well, and such quests relax him. And then Sora says that they had no supplies, and this is a great help. The girl confirms that it is indeed a lot. He thanks the girl and expresses joy. At the same time, Sora reports that it's the 3rd day, and the girl says that it's happening again. He admitted that he doesn't know what to do with the bags. In addition, Sora and the girl silently look at a pile of bags, and the inscription reports that it's the 5th day. He reports that herb gathering quests are temporarily suspended. The man says that he completed a month's quota in 5 days, and the woman explains that legends will definitely be told about this. Moreover, Sora says that he should have taken something else, and the man calls him. He speaks to Seifen, and Seifen asks if he has finished his work. In the end, Sora says that he is a little lonely, but he will do his best, and the man asks if he has already parted ways with them. The man expressed support for Sora and clarified her desire to explore the world, after which Sora reports that the Tiger Wolf extermination mission was slightly delayed, but they are finally setting off tomorrow, and the guild will lend them horses. Seifen thanks Sora. He says that he is leaving tomorrow, and the man reports that this is the last night here for both of them. When the man suggested a drink, Sora agreed, but refused alcohol. He reports about the party and asks if anyone wants a drink. Seifen says he has never seen so many friends of Sora. Then Sora notes that the meat here is the best, and the man confirms that it is very delicious. Soon he invites him to spar, and the man wishes Seifen luck on the quest and thanks the guys. Following this, Sora invites him to join his group, mentioning the battle with the Tiger Wolf. The man is aware of his departure and journey. Another man doubts the legend of Sora's herb gathering and asks about his participation in the sparring. The man complains about the noise. He smiles. Meanwhile, the man speaks to Sora. In the second scene, Sora converses with 3 men holding mugs and laughing. He suggests a duel. The man with the sword agrees. 3 men in the background approve and support the idea. And then the girl says that the man got drunk again before leaving tomorrow, and Sora reports that everything will be fun and asks Yuno to calm down. He stands with a sword opposite the man and demands to see something, and the crowd around cheers them on. At the same time, Sora rushes into battle, and the man responds to him and begins the fight. He fights the opponent, deflecting attacks and striking. The girl calls him a good boy, despite Seifen's condition. The crowd admires the speed of the fight. In addition, Sora says that he really keeps up with Seifen's movements. He shouts that he will open up now, and rushes to attack the man with a sword. The man explains that even if he became faster, he is still too obvious. He stops in mid-jump, and the man notices that it is a feint. Moreover, Sora looks at the opponent with determination, after which they both simultaneously strike, clashing in battle. He breathes heavily after the fight, and a group of men watches what is happening in the street. In the end, the man notes that Sora did fine, while others say that Seifen is too strong for him. He says that last time he tried to add more feints, but it's not enough against someone like him. The man reports that he saw through Sora's last attack, after which Sora declares his honesty, laughs, and pats the other guy on the head. The man says that he is amazed by the progress in a short time. When Sora says that if he continues like this, he will become stronger than him. He reports that the party lasted until night, and the man says that it is truly special. Then Sora recounts that he heard many stories that made his heart beat faster and made him ponder his journey. He looks forward to his solo journey, but his wallet has become much lighter than he would like, and from time to time such days are also good. Following this, Sora reports being at a mountain pass in the Beast Kingdom, near the border, after parting ways with Rurika and Chris. He recounts that after arriving in Phesis, he visited their room every night. The girl asks if he is all right. Meanwhile, the girl practices saying the same words over and over again. Sora reports that he had no strength left after training, and explains that attempts to use real words consumed a lot of energy for such a young spirit. The man asks if he is okay, and then the girl says that he carries a heavy burden, and admits that this is what she thought. Sora continued to do this night after night and did not plan to stop. At the same time, the girl says that he is determined. The girl asks him to do his best. In addition, the girl prays that his feelings will eventually reach Sora. The man named the city Phesis. Moreover, Sora reports that he read the book and now knows how to proceed. He recounts that he tries to read the magic notebook that Chris gave him every day. In the end, Sora talks about the 6 main types of magic and notes that fire and wind magic are described in particular detail due to Chris's specialization. He mentions that the last page talks about spirit magic and finds it interesting as well. After which Sora asks if she talked about Eris. She says that she heard about it from an acquaintance elf. The man says that spirit magic requires a contract with a spirit and is a rare phenomenon. When Sora explains that spirits can have different temperaments and in some places are considered deities, a group of people loudly says the word, spirit. He claims that it is true. Then Sora talks about the need to conclude a contract. He reports on the impossibility of reading part of the text and offers to conclude a contract. Following this, Sora is silent, looking at a piece of paper. He says, "So he," and pronounces the words Tra, Khan. Meanwhile, Sora speaks, sitting on the floor, and a loud sound comes from the adjacent panel. He stated that he appeared suddenly and asked not to scare him, and also not to laugh. And then Sora says that he was very worried after the other person disappeared like that. He wants to make a contract and asks, "Is that right?" At the same time, Sora laughs and asks him to stop. He offers to make a contract. The creature nods. In addition, Sora says that they need to decide how to do what they intended. The man agrees and is silent. Moreover, Sora tries to tell her and encourages himself in case he succeeds. He asks for a name. His voice trembles. In the end, Sora pronounces a name. He apologizes for the tiring attempts to pronounce words and thanks for the understanding. After which Sora says that to make a contract with such a spirit, he needs to give it a name and then agrees. He claims that he has never given names and wonders what to choose. When Sora said that it was white, he suggested the name Zero. He promises to forgive and forget. Then Sora suggested choosing a cooler name, and the cloud offered options Dark Assassin and Midnight Justice. He explained that it was a joke and asked what he should choose now. Following this, Sora says that the name is cool. He is in 8th grade. Meanwhile, Sora says that his name sounds cool in English and wonders how it sounds in other languages. He claims that there are many variations of the word sky in different languages. And then Sora says, "How about sky or Himmel to eat?" He is surprised by the word seal. At the same time, Sora says that he really wants it, looking at 2 jumping rabbits. He said that now he has given it a name with the same meaning as his own, and considers giving it his own name very awkward. In addition, Sora says that if the little animal likes it, it will be called Seal, and he welcomes it. She also reports that the animal seems to like it, after which she coughs. He reports that a glowing cloud-like substance appeared in his hand. Moreover, Sora notes the absence of changes and is surprised when the creature in his hand begins to glow. He says that it's difficult and asks to stop talking. In the end, Sora says that he knows how to establish a strong connection with another person by touching them. Then she explains the meaning of the word fluffy. After arriving in Phesis, he actively trains to raise his level. Then he decides to unlock new skills before setting off. After which Sora claims that he has many skill points left and suggests choosing an interesting ability, explaining that due to his alchemist profession, he has additional parameters for MP and agility. He explains that throwing and shooting improve accuracy in long-range attacks, and says that with this it will be easier for him to train with a pistol. He also suggests shooting somewhere where there are no people. When Sora recounts that he chose fire magic for attacking and destroying monsters, he explains that water magic allows him to manipulate large volumes of water, and says that he will be able to use ice when he levels up. He explained that to become a mage, one needs to learn 3 or more types of magic. Therefore, he is going to learn other useful types as well. In the end, he added that magic is very cool. Then Sora explained that she uses telepathy for communication and apologized to Seal. He agreed and the rabbit reacted. Following this, Sora reports that he has acquired a title and addresses Seal. He reports what happened and strokes the fluffy creature's head. Meanwhile, Sora is surprised. A flying creature is next to him. He says that he is still unaccustomed to touching the girl. And then Sora tells Seal that he is surprised. He coughs sharply and forcefully spits out something, sitting on the bed. At the same time, Sora wished Safin luck with the tiger-wolf hunt, and the man asked her to take care of herself. He says that the guys should also take care of themselves, and the man reports that it's time to go. In addition, Sora points to the approaching group of people and reports that it's a village where people live. He reports that they are now traveling as a duo. Moreover, Sora wonders if other people can hear him when he uses telepathy. The man replies that it seems only Seal reacts, and explains that it's probably not. He says that it's time to travel and see the world, and also reports that this is only the beginning of their journey. In the end, Sora reports that they left through the southern gates of Phesis, then through Aleto and Pullum, and will arrive in Epica south of the royal capital. He reported that caravans are directed to the southern route because of the tiger wolf between Phesis and Alka. The destination is the capital, not Epica. After which Sora reports that they are setting up a night camp on the roadside, traveling between cities, and the man claims that he cooks very deliciously. The man asks if his companions have heard this story. When Sora says that new monsters have been appearing lately, and the number of extermination quests in the guild is increasing. The man recounts that he recently engaged in trade in a small town near the Black Forest. Then Sora recounts that the town, which was a simple fort a few years ago, has now turned into a real border fortress, and the man with the mustache asks if it's really so. The man reports that the monster problem has gotten out of control. They must strengthen their defenses, otherwise it will be worse than the invasion 3 years ago. Following this, Sora suggests fleeing south and declares a possible trip to Refel, the Kingdom of Dragons. He doesn't understand what is happening in the world. Meanwhile, Sora asks the young man why he is going to Epica. The map shows locations and the date 3 days after leaving Phesis. The man notices that the hero doesn't look like a merchant and that traveling alone is rare. And then Sora says that he simply travels to different places and can easily reach other countries from Epica, and the man reports that traveler sounds great. He asks if the guys know any special or famous places in this area. At the same time, Sora says that he is not familiar with these places, and the man opposite him reports that he is talking about famous places. For example, the man talks about a village between Aleto and Pullum where rare food made from livestock milk is prepared, which is rarely sold in cities. In addition, Sora claims that this type of food is rarely sold, while the creature next to him claims that it is a rare type of food. The man asks about someone, and he replies that it is definitely cheese. Moreover, Sora describes the cheese as creamy and rich in flavor, asking if he understands this. He recounts that when heated, it melts, releases an aroma, and enhances appetite. In the end, Sora suggested making a small detour to observe the flying creatures. He wants to visit Fuse village, and the man hopes for cheese. After which Sora recounts that this is the beginning of their journey as a duo and detours are also fun in their own way. He says that he doesn't know what awaits them ahead, but he can't help but be excited about it. When Aleto passed, the carriage continued towards Pullum. Sora planned to arrive in Pullum on the 4th day, but decided to leave the carriage halfway through the 2nd day to make a detour to Fuse Village. He paid in advance and won't get anything for the rest of the journey, but considers it a small price for the opportunity to get cheese. Then he reports on starting to move, taking a step forward next to the cart. Sora confidently thanks them and promises to take care of himself. The people in the carriage ask him to share his opinion about the cheese when they meet next time. Following this, he says, "Well then." Sora uses telepathy for training purposes and reports on the start of the journey to Fuse Village. Meanwhile, he claims that walking is fun, and talks about a small side path leading to a village off the main city road. Sora reports that his status has opened, his spatial magic level has reached 6, and the map function is now available. And then he says, "Oh," and then explains the meaning of the display map command. Sora reports that Fuse Village is behind the forest. Cheese awaits them. She points to the path she took and notes the small and large-scale view. At the same time, he suggests trying to combine it with presence detection. Sora notices 7 figures in the distance and assumes it's a carriage with merchants. She notes that she can now accurately determine people's locations, unlike her previous ability to only roughly determine direction. In addition, he says that he doesn't feel an ominous presence right now and there's nothing on the map. This means it isn't here, and with the map, he will immediately know if someone is following him. Sora claims that they possess high stealth skills. Thoughts on this topic are useless. Moreover, he reports that after walking a little, he makes an ooh sound. Sora points to the location of Fuse Village. In the end, he claims that cows graze all the animals in the street, and the village specializes in animal husbandry. Sora says that it's quiet here. The man asks for forgiveness, after which he says that he came here for cheese, reporting that he is a traveler. The man replies that it is cheese. Sora notes that travelers rarely visit their village. The man explains that merchants don't come for goods due to insufficient volume for export. When the guy reports that sales won't happen, it disappoints those who came for business, as it's not profitable for customers. Sora says that he came here to eat. Then the guy asks if there is an inn here where he could stay and buy some rumored cheese, and the man is surprised and reports that they came here just for that. The guy is surprised by the interest in the village, talks about cheese dishes and the inn. Sora thanks and smiles. The guy points to a house at the end of the street. Following this, he says that he is looking forward to the cheese. Sora reports that dinner is ready, and in the evening tries to say something. Meanwhile, the man asserts, "Cheese." Sora talks about baked potatoes with melted cheese and sandwiches with fresh vegetables and cheese. And then he says that he will eat the sandwiches first and thanks them for the food, and then reports that there is a lot of beef and pork there, and says that it is very delicious. Sora says that the cheese has a rich flavor and strong aroma. The combination of thick cheese with crispy vegetables makes it doubly delicious. At the same time, the man explains that red vegetables are tomatoes, and there are also tomatoes in this world, although they are practically not used outside the region, and the woman reports that if he wants, she will pack some. Sora says that the dish is soft, juicy, and delicious, and then reports that meat will follow. In addition, she made an extra effort as he is the first guest in a long time, and he noted that it is beef and pork from their village and is glad that he likes it. Sora says that it's potatoes with cheese, and demonstrates how the cheese stretches. Moreover, he tastes something. The girl praised the dish and Sora was surprised. In the end, he says that he is just joking, and asks for forgiveness. Sora asks if he can take half the food to his room, and the woman replies that of course. After which he says that he is glad to see the fluffy creature. Sora told Seal to take the food and wished him a good appetite. When he reports an unexpected event, then pulls something long and shows how it stretches from the fork. Sora says that the dog eats a lot and the dog chomps. Then he asks how the first experience with cheese went, and the small creature replies that it's good. Sora said that tomorrow they will look at the village, and Lena stated that she wants to buy vegetables and cheese before leaving. Following this, he says good morning and admires breakfast. The man asks if he slept well, and the woman invites him to take more. Sora says that after yesterday's dinner, even at breakfast, there is cheese everywhere. Meanwhile, he says that it is delicious and tasty. Sora apologizes, holding food, and the woman looks at the departing man. And then he says that he cannot eat because his stomach hurts. Sora breathed a sigh of relief. At the same time, he reports that after breakfast they walked around the village and saw a peaceful landscape. Sora told Seal that it was time to go buy cheese. In addition, he claims that the one he was told about at the inn should be somewhere in the barn. Sora apologized to the man, who reported that he was the one who passed by yesterday. Moreover, he claims that it is that guy. The guy is happy that the cheese from the inn comes directly from here. Sora has already tried it and is delighted. The guy invites them to come in and show how he makes cheese. In the end, he notices a large cauldron, and the man explains that he makes almost all the cheese in the village. Sora uses fire to heat the milk and start fermentation, adds rennet to thicken it, after which he reports that the cheese is ready. After which the man asks Sora why he came here, and he answers affirmatively. Sora wanted to buy cheese, butter, or other dairy products. The man is glad that she liked it and asks how much she wants. When he talks about the quantity of cheese, butter, and milk, the man is surprised. The guy doubts that the other will be able to eat all of it, as he didn't see him come with a cart. Then Sora mentioned his temple magic, but refused to reveal his skills, while the girl mentioned a magic bag. He reported that he left it at the inn and cannot help, and the man asked to see the magic bag, noting its rarity and high cost. Following this, the guy reports that he ran out of butter, to which Sora replies that it's a shame and offers to show it next time. He asks his companion if he wants to try doing it himself. Meanwhile, Sora claims that butter can be made from this, to which the man merely nods. The man explains the process. First, pour milk into a cylinder, then churn. And then Sora says, "Aha!" And the man says, "Try it." He is tired, but continues to work with the pestle. A talking rabbit appears nearby. In the end, he reports that he completed the task, smiling. At the same time, Sora asks the man how many times he needs to churn. The man replies about 8,000. Sora suggests walking while churning. The man is surprised and asks again. The man asks if this is tiring, and receives a negative answer. In addition, Sora reports on the readiness of the butter on the board, and the man praised her work, noting that she wasn't tired. He doubts, and the man offers him butter for his hard work and asks him to put it here. Moreover, Sora uses storage magic in the bushes so that no one can see, and thus got butter, cheese, and some milk. The man invites him to come again, to which Sora thanks him. He claims that these are tomatoes from their field. The innkeepers treated him to lunch and tomatoes the next day, when he was about to leave the village. In the end, Sora refuses to rush and decides to enjoy the journey, while the man warns him to be careful due to the distance to Epica. He asked the woman where he could see interesting places nearby. He expressed a desire to explore the surroundings. The woman explained that on the way to the main road, to the right towards the forest, there is a large lake. After which Sora mentions that the sunset there is truly beautiful, and points to a small lumberjack's cabin on the shore of the lake, where they can spend the night. He listens as the man recounts that 30 years ago, by this lake, this guy proposed to him. When Sora says, "Come again," addressing the departing man and woman, he calls Fuse Village, through which they passed on the way here, a forest. He says it's a beautiful place, and asks Seal if it's true. Seal just nods. Then Sora says that they are going to the lake. He claims that there is a path to the lake in the forest. Following this, Sora says, "Did she really mean this narrow path?" He says it will be interesting and then orders them to go. Meanwhile, Sora notices that only locals know about this place, and branches obstruct the path. Then he says that excellent firewood can be made from the branches with storage magic. He hums. And then Sora says that he didn't expect to find shiitake here, and reports that today there will be mushrooms fried in butter, but first he will check them. He claims that suspicious mushrooms are fatally poisonous and can lead to death, and can also be used to create poison with alchemy. At the same time, Sora says that he checked first, and the man asks what exactly he checked. He will collect a couple of poisonous plants, but does not plan to make poison. He suggests looking around, if desired. Then he reports that they will not dwell on it and will move on. The man notices that he really loves nature. In addition, Sora says that he will open the map and asks how far it is to the lake. He says that he is waiting for it. The man reports that the lake is straight ahead. Moreover, Sora makes a ba'i sound and moves through the bushes in the forest. He describes a huge lake, strewn with flowers, and admits that he didn't believe such places existed. In the end, Sora points to a small house on the shore, and the man is silent. He claims that this is the very cabin the landlady spoke of. The landlady offers to spend the night there. He decides to go to the lake, after which Sora is silent, and then his foot steps on the flowers. He reports that they are tired and are taking a break while running across the field. When Sora says that he managed not to trample the flowers, he says that the water is clear and shows a captured crayfish. Then Sora reports that the water is cold. He notes the pleasant coolness, the rustling of leaves, and the light fragrance of flowers, adding that one could sit here for hours. Following this, Sora notices that the creature has returned and assumes that it's time for lunch, noting its softness. He looked into the cabin and reported that firewood was stored there. Then he mentioned tender meat and talked about a roasted meat sandwich. Meanwhile, Sora recounts that he tried smoking cheese by placing it on a grill and covering it. Then he explains that he needs to reduce the fire's intensity and the vessel's temperature so the cheese doesn't melt, and reports that he heard a voice which, in his opinion, is part of the cooking skill. He uses water magic and water from the lake to cool the cauldron. And then Sora says that the meat looks great, recounts that he is doing various things, suggests standing for a bit, and asks if it's ready. He reports that the day has ended. Night has fallen. He describes how the lake reflects the moon and stars. At the same time, Sora reports that he is making soup from village tomatoes, and the creature sniffs the smell. He lived in Tokyo where there were large gray square buildings lined up. In addition, Sora reported that he found himself in this world and was told that he was a hero. He went on adventures with Rurika and Chris, but then he was kicked out. Now he sits here, stirring soup, and says you never know what life will bring. Moreover, Sora tells Seal that he doesn't care if he's a hero or not. He says that he wants to keep going. In the end, a small house with smoke and the sun against the mountains are visible on stage. Sora reports that a small creature appears next to him, which begins to hiccup and falls asleep, after which he says good morning to Seal and reports that breakfast is almost ready. Retelling is unavailable due to the absence of speech bubbles and characters. When Sora talks about breakfast under the sun's rays, he recounts that today he tried using fire and water magic to prepare breakfast. With fire magic, he controls the flame's intensity better than with domestic magic. Then Sora recounts that water magic allows him to create domestic water and control its temperature, but he needs to improve the skill to completely freeze water. He believes that to get hot water, he needs to combine fire and water magic. Currently, he can only make water boil, but achieving a perfect result is difficult. Following this, Sora notes that he previously considered this type of magic suitable only for attacks, but now understands how useful it can be. He explains that fire and water magic skills are leveled up simultaneously, and he raises their level using domestic magic. Meanwhile, Sora passes food and smiles, looking at the flying creature. He reports that today they have fried bacon on white bread, then recounts that he will melt some cheese in a small pieces pan. And then Sora says that he needs to pour it on top. He says that the sandwich is cool and confirms it. At the same time, Sora notes that the food is very soft and delicious. He noted that the food is delicious. In addition, Sora reports that it's time to set off. He regrets that he couldn't join Rurika and Chris to see this. Moreover, Sora assures that everything will be fine, while the girl with long hair shares her future plans with another girl. He reported that their next destination is the southern border town of Epica. In the end, Sora says that after 3 days of travel, they reached Pullum, and there are still 5 days left until the city of Epica. He warns of the risks of spending the night alone, but the path to Alka is closed, so many are taking a detour route to the capital. After which Sora recounts that he met a group with whom they camped and spent time together, and reports that Safin and the others did it. He notes that everyone seems like good guys. The guy tries cheese for the first time and thanks his brother. Another guy explains that it's cheese from Fuse Village. The third guy says that it's very delicious and asks what it is. When Sora says that he is taking the first watch today, the man asks if he should wake him up when it's time to change, to which Sora replies, "Of course." He says that before going to bed, everyone lies on the grass and rests. Then Sora explains that he uses a combination of map skills and presence detection to ensure it's safe around, and reports that no danger is visible. He stated that he doesn't recall such a skill, but understands that night vision will help him see in the dark. He decided to spend the night outdoors and acquire this skill. Following this, Sora claims that he sees clearly, although it is the middle of the night. He explains that he divides his consciousness using parallel thinking. One part rests, and the other monitors the surroundings. Meanwhile, Sora noted that he used to always wake up due to depleted SP, but now his stats have significantly increased, and he has a natural recovery enhancement skill. He should use presence detection, but there's a reason why he doesn't want to. He reports that after improving the detection skill, he notices small animals and details around, but is not yet able to determine the strength level of enemies. And then Sora says that he will make do with this. The man on watch reports that the other's eyes are open and asks if he is sleeping. He reports that 4 days have passed since Pullum, and he is in the border town of Epica. At the same time, Sora reports that they almost reached Epica and explains that thanks to night vision, he managed it in 4 days, although it should have taken 5 even after sunset. He suggests checking his status after the journey and opens it. In addition, Sora talks about reaching level 30 and thanks them, and the creature clarifies that it is an attempt to say, "Congratulations." He recounts that the skill appeared when he made a contract with Seal. Moreover, Sora recounts that using the spell consumed a lot of MP, but nothing happened, although it was painful. Now he is flying. He claims that spirit magic is. In the end, Sora wonders about the possibility of using spirit magic, noting that Chris mentioned it in her notes, but holy magic and spirit magic apparently differ. He speaks, and a small cloud with a face and an eye sounds appears nearby, after which Sora says that the walls here are cooler than in the capital, and recounts that this is the southern border town of Epica. He reports that behind the large walls lies the southern border town of Epica, and the woman thanks him. When Sora exclaimed, he talks about wheat fields inside the fortress walls. Then Sora recounts that Epica is surrounded by 2 concentric walls, between which space is used for agriculture, and the city itself is within the inner circle. He claims that the city's area is larger than that of the capital, and there are more low houses here, but the overall atmosphere is very similar. Following this, Sora recounts that he first booked an inn for a few days, then went to the guild and took several delivery quests. He stated that he would solve the issue in 5 days and suggested returning to the capital or crossing the border to visit another country. Meanwhile, Sora asks Seal where she wants to go next. Seal replies that wherever there is delicious food. He greets the boy. The man recounts that they traveled together in a carriage. He asks if the boy tried cheese from that village. The man invites the boy to visit if he has time. The boy notes that the house is very large. And then the man reported that he is the president of a small trading company called Claude Trading Company. Sora thanks for the invitation. The man invites them in and offers tea. At the same time, the man talks about cheese and thanks him. Sora smiles and says that he has some food. In addition, the cheese is soft and rich. The salty taste lingers in the mouth, and he cannot stop eating. The darker cheese is smoked and a little older. Soon Sora suggests drinking beer, although it's still early. The man explains that it's the perfect time for beer. He admits that he is still underage, but Sora is not going to stop. Moreover, he talks about the potential benefits of mass-producing cheese with an aroma. The man claims that he made smoked cheese himself and offers the boy to join his company. Sora reports that after 3 days of walking around the city, He decided to visit a slave trader to look for Rurika's and Chris's friends. In the end, he says that Epica's slave market is like this, and after the incident in the capital, he is a little scared, but he might find some information. Sora apologizes and says that he is looking for someone. The man asks if it is a child, and reports that minors without money have no place here, and then kicks Sora out. After which he admits that he is creepy but powerless. Sora states that he has money and his status as a client, expresses fear, but readiness to act. The man asks them to wait. The girls are silent. When he says that he brought a bag of money, the man reports that he will check the contents. The man offers his services, and Sora clarifies what kind of slave they are looking for. Then the man suggests passing through. Sora is looking for two girls, an elf and a beast person, who went missing during the war 10 years ago. Following this, he asks what the category war slaves means and if it is special. The man explains that these are indeed war slaves. The man says that convicts are usually divided into three types: convicted slaves, war slaves, and debt slaves. Meanwhile, Sora understood that the elf and beast people are currently absent, but he is afraid. The man confirms this and expresses his anxiety. The man says that his interlocutor is a respected adventurer and can recommend a guard for travels, suitable for this purpose. And then Sora says the word goods and explains what they saw, and the man talks about the fame of their war slaves and offers them to see for themselves. The man reports that he recently acquired several exquisite goods and says that they are lucky today. At the same time, Sora declares that she has heard enough and begins to speak out. He declares that he is a gentleman. In addition, Sora admits that he cannot stand the thought of slavery and apologizes for the inconvenience. He walks down the street, looking around carefully. Moreover, Sora says that he doesn't understand what is happening, while people around him run in panic. He asks what happened, and the guy asks if he heard anything. In the end, Sora reports that a group of orcs attacked and destroyed a large caravan for the capital, despite 10 guards. The guy expresses surprise. He reports that all C-rank and higher adventurers were called to exterminate the orcs. He asks another character his rank, to which he replies that he is D-rank. After which Sora says that he wishes good luck to those who are leaving, and the man reports that they will stay and pray for them. He noticed an increase in discussions about monsters. When Sora reports that the tiger wolf extermination was successful under Safin's group, she hopes that this time everything will be fine. He talks about the extermination of orcs and high-rank monsters. Then Sora asks if this is correct. The woman reports that they have a special quest for him. The girl reports that rumors from the Thesis Guild reached them, calling them pros at gathering quests. He is surprised, as he is only D-rank. Following this, Sora is surprised by the statement about him being a pro at gathering quests. The girl reports that they recently received a request for additional potions from the orc extermination party, but the guild supplies are almost depleted. The girl asks if they saw the information board. The girl explains that their situation is more difficult than they thought. Meanwhile, Sora reports that mana grass, a key ingredient for potions, is especially lacking, and explains that they decided to turn to him and several people for help. She adds that she will be glad to help. He claims that he already has a nickname and is known in the guild as the Gatherer. And then Sora reports that they have an additional cart, so the four of them went on a gathering quest and can load many things. He notes that despite their non-participation in the extermination quest, full support must be shown. The men agree. At the same time, Sora reports that they dismantled the base camp in the forest and spread out in 4 directions for wider coverage. He reports that they will spend 2 days here, wandering around and gathering everything they can. In addition, Sora reports that they are looking for mana grass, stamina grass, and medicinal herbs. He claims that some medicinal herbs resemble mana grass, but he has the appraisal skill. Moreover, Sora claims that it is indeed effective, holding plants in his hands. He will check another area and show the map. Then he will report the presence of monsters approximately 200 meters ahead and explain that judging by their size, they are wolves. In the end, Sora claims that there are no monsters in the forest and doubts his ability to run to the others. He reports that he was noticed and they are coming for him, but then they change direction. After which Sora states that if surrounded by 4 wolves, he will have to fight alone, and that will be his end. He tells Seal to stay behind, explaining that if Chris were here, she could keep enemies at bay. When Sora says that he doesn't know how to shoot and hasn't even tried, he claims that he has no choice. Then Sora shoots his pistol at the attacking wolves. He reports a shot. Following this, Sora shoots and kills one of the wolves. After that, he notices that the 2 remaining wolves are running in a zigzag pattern. He reports on the difficulty of aiming due to the fast wolves and warns of the risks of using a pistol. Meanwhile, Sora speaks and hides behind a tree while the wolves approach. He strikes a wolf with his sword. It falls and screams. And then Sora declares that he is ready to fight the wolves. He reports that he is left alone, and there are animal paw prints on the ground. At the same time, Sora reports that he was caught and explains that the real plan was in his left hand. He attacks a huge wolf, jumping with a sword in his hand. In addition, Sora claims that he successfully handled 3 problems and the weapon is working correctly. He asks Seal for forgiveness for the loud sounds. Moreover, Sora heard a sound at the door and admitted that he didn't understand what was happening. He said that it was nothing,